All right, welcome in to our watch along here. I'm Stephen Peak, producing right now for Jack Pilgrim and Brandon Ramsey. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I want to see how this goes. Jack, we got a few moments before tip off. What are you thinking about the game today?
I'm thinking that I'm warm and I'm comfortable in the safety of my home. Stephen, I know we should have been there. We wanted to be there so desperately, but the conditions were not good enough for us leaving Louisville and Shelbyville. So it's very cool that we get to finally do this. I'm excited that you're able to kind of run the show here. I'm very excited about this one. I think it's a chance for Kentucky to get a little bit of a feel-good kind of statement victory. Those are kind of few and far between in the SEC schedule. You don't get very many of those. And you're not none of them are cupcakes, but you have to kind of pick and choose what your good games are going to look like here in the SEC, where you can kind of show your stuff off and kind of dictate control the pace of the game and things like that. So I think this is a chance leading up to a really, really tough road test in Starkville. This one, I like Georgia. I don't love Georgia. I think their schedule is really, really, really weak. They've beaten up on some of the weaker opponents. Some name brand wins, but nothing really of substance. And in the teams that that have a pulse that are going to be in the NCAA tournament, they've lost pretty handily. So I think this is a chance for Kentucky to kind of get back in the win column, get get their first true road win of the season, and just kind of get that momentum started in a true SEC road game. I'm really, really looking forward to this one, Stephen.
Brandon, what do you think about this? I've been nervous about it all day. I haven't been in our chat too much, but you know how that can get sometimes. A little nervous about it all day. Why should I not be nervous, or why should I be?
Well, I mean, I think the reason to be nervous is because it's a Southeastern Conference game, and we know none of those are going to go, super easily this year, I don't think. Now, I think the reason for optimism is that I'm pretty confident. Now, this doesn't always mean you win the basketball game, but I'm pretty confident Kentucky has semi-significantly better players than Georgia. And sometimes that's enough. Sometimes you can just find a way to be better, especially offensively. I think if Kentucky can go out and score 80 points tonight or so, they will find a way to win. I can't promise you it'll be pretty. I can't promise you it'll be maybe even the feel-good win that Jack's talking about. But I do think that Kentucky will find a way to win this game. And one of the things I think is important with this one is that, no quad one win, no road win is ever like a must win, or a game is a must win. But when you're looking at the SEC schedule, you got to win a few of the road games. And if you're not going to win this one, then it starts to get pretty precarious when you're trying to figure out what road games does Kentucky win this year if they're not going to win at Georgia. So that hopefully doesn't put unnecessary pressure on the game. But I do think if you allow yourself as a fan to kind of look at the wins and losses of the schedule, it starts to get a little bleak if you don't win a game like this on the road, because wins are just going to be so hard to come by throughout the next 17 games.
And also want to bring in Zach Gagan. Zach, hey, welcome.
You're muted, buddy. You're muted. There we go.
There we go.
Hey. Sorry, I was over here. I was listening, but I was also trying to stay up to date on the board and the Twitter and all the fun things here. I haven't even. I'm flat-haired, Zach. Today, you all get a special.
You
treat.
do not look normal. This is very weird.
It's a weird
thing.
I should go put on my glasses too. It would be like I'm a stranger in this chat. How are we doing?
We're great.
Better now. How are you feeling? There's so much. How much better did you feel knowing that Kobe Brea is available and will be suiting up for the Cats tonight?
Definitely felt better. I wasn't. Pope said that he didn't practice yesterday, so that was maybe a little bit concerning. But still, kind of went through the shoot around today, so maybe he might have. It might take him a second or something to get himself rolling again. But gotta have Kobe. Need that guy, especially coming off 7 threes. Georgia's going to game plan for him hard. So do whatever you can to try and create more opportunities for him, because it's just going to open things up for everyone else. So it would really stink to have been without Kerr and Kobe for this game. But a lot of this game will probably be one in the front court anyway. So, but having Kobe, want to have him, need him.
Brandon, that's my question for you before we kind of the in-game folk kind of tune their way out while the Brandon and Steven kind of run the ship here while the game starts. The battle of kind of front court versus back court. Kentucky kind of boasting the superiority in the back court versus the front court, being a clear strength. Asa Noel, one of the best freshmen in college basketball. What is there's got to be a push and pull with that. How much better is the Georgia front court versus how much better the Kentucky backcourt is, and how much of a difference is that going to make tonight?
I think Kentucky pretty clearly has the better backcourt. There's no denying that. Now, the Georgia guards, the DeMary kid, Tyron Lawrence is a guy that we all know pretty well.
Blue Kane.
Yeah, Blue Kane, our boy.
He's not really my boy. I just like his name.
Those guys are good players, especially Lawrence, Montgomery, Demery. Like, those guys are bigger, athletic guards that could give us some issues, but just skill-wise, there's really no comparison between the two backcourts. Now, in the front court, it's entirely possible that Kentucky's front court outplays their front court. Like, I don't think that Georgia's front court is necessarily better than than Kentucky's, but I do think that with the way they rebound the ball, certainly we've seen that be an Achilles heel for this Kentucky team at times. So making sure that you don't get whipped on the glass will be a big part of this one. Georgia's great at scoring around the basket. I was looking at the synergy numbers earlier. They're like in the 94th percentile on post-ups. They're really good scoring in the paint. They shoot 58% from two, which is one of the highest numbers in the country. So the interior defense, which is something that hasn't always been a strength this season, interior defense and defensive rebounding, if those are weaknesses tonight, it'll be a lot tougher trip to Athens than if we can see some improvement in those areas.
Last thing before I jump out of here, Santos Cyril. I'm very excited for the reunion with him. That was a guy that, kind of a fan favorite, a highlight machine, just this athletic freak, 7'7" wingspan, 260 pounds, 43-inch vertical. I mean, just this behemoth monster of a man where I think if there is one kind of, I wouldn't say missing piece with this roster, but a guy like that physical brute force beast off the bench is something that this Kentucky team could have used. So that's a guy I'm excited to see, just kind of one of those like what could have been kind of alternate reality type deals where he goes, kind of stays home in Athens, plays for Mike White at Georgia, while Jaden Quaintance goes, follows the money to Tempe, goes to Arizona State, and then obviously the other four go down to Fayetteville. So I'm really excited for that kind of like homecoming, reuniting. It's going to be a really, really interesting dynamic there. Very, very impressed with what he's been able to do in very limited time. Didn't have a great showing in his SEC debut, but I'm very excited to see the return of Santos Cyril. And with that, I'm going to get the heck out of here, go watch the game on my own, follow us along on the KSR live blog on KS Board, and listen to these guys as they talk, and they're very, very good at what they do.
Let's do it. Go Cats.
Yeah, I'll probably have to pop out here too, Brandon. So I'll let you and Steven jab all you guys want, and then I'll see you all in the group chat.
Yes, you will.
I'm excited for Steven's text. I'll listen here as well, so I can get the full scope of Steven's reactions, which is really the main reason that I'm interested in this stream. So
see how quickly we go off the rails here.
Absolutely. All right, game is on, so I'll let you all get to it later.
All right, see you, Zach. Oh, we're winning, Steven. That's a good start.
That is a good start. I didn't actually see. I was busy pressing buttons over here, so I didn't actually see.
I missed the bucket too. I just saw it was 2-0. We're going to be learning this on the fly, like how to watch the game, how to interact with each other all at the same time. A little zoom action. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I'm wanting. I want to know. This is what I've wanted for so long, to watch a game with Brandon Ramsey. He's going to tell me what's going on. Oh, why didn't Lamont shoot that?
Yeah, I probably would have rather had the open. Oh, Ortega jumped the passing lane. Amari just has to be stronger when he gets the ball in the post. I mean, he's been better about that the last couple of games, but there's still too many where he kind of throws the ball at the rim as opposed to shooting it. What we got here? Foul on Georgia. Ortega always is so athletic.
Yeah, I mean he's that guy, man. Yeah. I really like his game. That part, I mean, that the game against Florida, I mean, there was that 16-0 run. I think, what was it? 9 of the points came from Ortega.
He scored 10 of them, and Kobe had 6.
10. Okay. Yeah, it was weird. That game was like a game of individual runs. You had the Kobe Brea run, you had the Ortega Owe run, and you had the Jackson Robinson run. Was there one other one?
Yeah, Jackson scored 7 in a row. There we go, a little breakaway dunk.
Nice. Man,
Good to
there's
see
something
we're
about
learning a little bit.
there's something about the way Lamont dribbles the ball in those situations that reminds me of Keith Bogans.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
There we go, man. 2 blocks and a steal already for Ortega. That's big.
Dang.
Blue Kane, he can shoot it. He's only like 29% on the season so far, but he's a guy. He was a really good high school shooter. Saw him at some of the All-American type of events, and last year he shot like 35%, made 53s as a freshman. So you kind of knew he was going to improve at some point. That's one of those shots that it goes in at home, but he probably hasn't been making them consistently throughout the year.
So he's like Patrick Swansea.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Remember that guy
Oh,
playing
yeah.
for Georgia?
Yep. There we go. That's what we need more of from Amari Williams right there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Be strong, be athletic, offensive rebounds.
I gotta say, it's a T-shirt game today.
Yeah.
But when we were there a couple years ago, don't go in. Is that not a push in the back? Okay, yeah. All right. When we were there, when Jack and I were there a couple years ago, when Kentucky lost, I was like, it was a dark day. It's like, oh, we're going to the NIT. It was all that. But like the atmosphere is not. Of all of the SEC places we've been to, it really was not anything to talk about. Their football is great, basketball, not so much. But
yeah.
But it was, it wasn't a good Kentucky team either that was coming in. And this is a T-shirt game. Looks like the place is pretty full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially with Georgia having a good season so far, when you're getting when you have your first SEC home game against a top 10 team, the place is going to be rocking for a game like this. By the end of the season, they might not care as much, but they still care a lot right now.
Yeah, I mean it's Kentucky, and they're 12-2.
Right.
Man, I want to start seeing those Jackson Robinson threes start going down. I knew they were going to call that. Brandon, why is it that it's these anticipated foul calls? They just drive me crazy. Maybe he got his hand there, but that's just like the game on Saturday. It was like every time down the floor, there's a freaking whistle off of it. If it's a rebound and a guy goes back up with it, I was like 9 times out of 10, there's going to be a whistle.
Yeah, there's just so many calls, and I'm not an official. There's really not enough money you could pay me to be an official. It's one of the last things I'd ever want to do in life. But there's just so many kind of guarantees in an official's mind which are frustrating. Like that foul call there, it's like because he's swiping down, like as soon as they see that downward motion, they're just blowing the whistle. Like they don't even wait to see if it's all ball or anything, which is frustrating. Or like some of those calls against Florida, and part of it, the Kentucky guys need to do a better job. But like there's a lot of times it's just kind of natural reaction athletically when you jump up. You're jumping up with one hand and kind of like have one hand either protecting yourself or it's kind of on the guy's body. They call that every time. Whereas if you go up with 2 hands vertically, you have a better chance of not getting the foul call. So some of those are little nuanced things that Kentucky needs to do a better job of. There we go, Andrew.
Nice.
But
yeah, my gosh.
But yeah, there's just a lot of things that officials do that are frustrating.
They're going to call something here too, probably. Yes, they are. I mean, it's just, I don't even know what a foul is. I mean.
And what I get frustrated with, and I've said this to you guys, I've talked about it on the board. So
is that not a foul? I mean, he hit his head. Is that
right.
not a foul too?
Yeah, yes. Like that probably should be a foul there. And there's so many things, like there's so many kind of ticky-tack fouls, little hand checks, little contact here and there. But then, I mean, heck, look back to the Florida game. Like the amount of physicality on some of the rebounds or the hand-to-hand combat in the post, like those things go uncalled all day long, or moving screens, like different things like that. There's so much physicality in the game that is just allowed. But then some of these slightest little bumps and bumps or hand checks get called other times in the game. And it makes it hard to play because you don't know what's going to be a foul and what's not.
And they've just been gifted 3 points at the free throw line. I didn't get to see a replay to know whether that was legitimately. But it's like that's the only reason. That's the reason that playing on the road is hard. It's that it's because of the officials. Like they are the ones that are manipulated by the crowd, not so much the players. Oh, look at that! Just go up with the why?
He was standing right under the rim.
Why? And he was wide open. Why would you not just? Okay. I don't know. That was weird. Didn't you think so? I don't know.
Yeah, he was wide. Yeah, he was wide open under the rim. I mean, I'm all for taking open threes if you make a better pass to Travis Perry there, but I also just take the 2-point layup when you have it.
Yeah. Why would you not? What do you think so far? The first 4 minutes. What do you like? What do you don't like?
So far, I mean, I'm encouraged by some of the defensive activity level. I know they got a couple fouls called on them there to get to the free throw line some, which is actually that's something that Georgia does a lot, especially with the way they drive it to the basket. They're pretty aggressive at seeking out contact and trying to get to the line. So we need to make sure that we're not playing into that game, not bailing them out by fouling. But overall, I like the activity level so far, especially those first couple of minutes. I thought we saw some really good things. Otega Owe was flying around, causing some havoc defensively. That's something I want to see more of from this team. I've been, both disappointed and surprised a little bit with the lack of forcing turnovers from this defense. So I'm hoping that against a team like Georgia,
all year.
That turns it over a decent amount. I'm hoping that as this game goes on, you'll see the turnover margin grow between these two teams. I think that'll be something to watch for as we get through the first half here.
Mark Maggard says, didn't expect to see Georgia full court press. What do you think about that? Or are you surprised by that too?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't shown it very much this year. And I think that, you can press for one of two reasons. Sometimes you press, obviously, to try to turn people over and to speed up the game. But then you can also actually press to try to slow people down with a little bit of token pressure, make the team take a little bit longer to get into the scoring area, get across half court. And I think that that's something you'll probably see from Georgia maybe a little bit now that they've already shown it in this game, and maybe even some teams going forward where, we've seen it's really hard to guard this Kentucky team for 20, 25 seconds in the half court because they're so good at executing. So if you can shrink that to maybe only having to guard them for 15 seconds because it takes them a while to get into their offense, then you'll have a better chance defensively. So I think that you will see some teams kind of try to muck the game up a little bit, slow the tempo down a little bit. And I think that's probably what you're seeing from this Georgia quote unquote pressure so far in this game.
And I remember Mark Pope talking about that. I forget who the opponent was, but he said, maybe it was Clemson. He said that by them speeding the things up by pressing, it actually slowed us down. Is that kind of what we're looking at here? Yeah,
I think so. You're gonna continue to see more of that with as Kentucky solidifies himself as one of the best offensive teams in the country. You're gonna see teams try to manufacture ways to have to guard less because it's really hard to guard for teams in the half court when, like I said, when they have 20 seconds to execute. If you can cut even just a few seconds off of that, it makes things easier on the defense.
When he said, I'm gonna check my audio settings real fast. Zach's giving me a heads up. And,
yeah, you're just a little quiet.
Okay. I wonder if this is better. Oh,
that was better.
If Zach, if you're still watching, let me. Oh, it is. Okay. Wait, why didn't I just ask you? Of course. What am I doing? All right.
I'm here.
Zach's the only one who can hear me. That's what I was hoping for anyway. This is just all going to Zach. Yeah. Unbelievable. I actually don't mind Garrison taking that shot. I mean, the shot clock was winding down. I'd rather him shoot it but I would have loved it more if it had hit the rim.
That would be nice. Somto in the game.
And getting some minutes out of Travis Perry. I thought it was so big that he hit that three against Florida because we're relying on him right now. So it's big if he can come in there and stick a couple threes. Maybe that makes up for some of the deficiencies that you'd have on defense. Although I don't think defense has been too bad. I don't mean Kentucky's defense as a whole wasn't great on Saturday, or a little bit credit to Florida, really, but nobody was getting stops, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think the thing with Travis Perry is you saw for the first time on Saturday that he looked like he belonged. He looked like a real backup point guard in the SEC, and the game slowed down for him a little bit, and he gave some.
They're holding on.
Quality.
They called that on Kentucky? You can't be serious. They're holding on to Kobe Bryant's jersey, right? I mean, did I see that right?
They did. I mean, officials are really getting carried away with trying to clean up some of the screening action, especially in the Zoom stuff, where Ortega kind of sticks his butt out there and gets a piece of him on the handoff. It's tough. I mean, that play happens so fast that you have two converging parties running into each other. To me, it's really hard to decide who really was the instigator there. But like you like to say, Stephen, of course, the game's at Georgia, so the whistle's going to go that way.
It's going to. That's just the way it is, and you just have to try to. It's not worth complaining about too much. I mean, you just gotta. Come on, Lamont. Man, we just hate taking open layups.
Rebound it.
I hate this. I hate this because Jackson has been. Well, he stayed late shooting the ball, shooting around after the game on Saturday.
Yeah,
and I just wanted to see a couple shots go in because I feel like when he gets where he hasn't hit a couple threes, I worry that it takes him out of the game a little bit more mentally. I hope he just keeps shooting. If he's 0 for 5 this half, I hope worst case scenario he's 0 for 10 in the second half. Yeah. I don't want him passing up on shots.
Yeah, and I think that's something that Samta with the that's what he can do, man. He's athletic and strong and special on the boards.
Come on, Cats. There we go. So there's the makeup call for the I don't know, just. That's what Jack was saying before the game. That he's that kind of player that maybe Kentucky doesn't have. Man.
Yeah. I'll have to say, I haven't watched a whole lot of Georgia until I was preparing the scouting report and stuff for this game, and going back and watching 2, 3, 4 of their games. I'll admit I sat there thinking, kind of wish he was on this team. He could be. Now, it's hard to take away minutes from Amari Williams and Brandon Garrison. I get that. It's not like those guys have been bad, but if he could play 6 to 8 minutes a game and just
what are we shooting right now from 3? We 0 for 3?
Yep, at least.
Man.
All right, get in transition.
Just.
Oh boy, it's too. Don't. Kobe's more willing to handle it there.
Oh, we are 0 for 5. I didn't realize Jackson was 0 for 3.
Jeez.
0 for 5 from downtown.
That's something always to watch with Jackson, especially early in the games. He's done a lot of really good things on both ends for this team, but he seems to be affected by scoring more than probably anybody else.
That's kind of what I was getting at. At least that's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah, that his activity level, his body language, the way that he guards, the way that he handles the ball, everything. It's better when it's going well. Let's just put it that way.
Don't go in. There you go, Amari. Come on. We cannot do play-by-play. I know that there are rules about that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to. Tom Leach is one of my heroes. Come on, man.
You're also 4 seconds ahead of me, which is a little weird.
Oh, well, hang on. Hey, let's. I'm gonna hit just pause.
Okay. Yeah. Just give me a 4-second pause, maybe.
All right. You were actually ahead of me earlier, and we got another foul. And this is what worries me about being on the road, because you're not going to get a whistle
and you know there's going to be calls called against you that just whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get to play without a starter at some point. Like who got in foul trouble at Clemson? Was it Lamont, or am I just thinking that of his injury?
Well, yeah, he had the. Yeah, who was that? But we definitely were down somebody.
Yeah. I mean, there was somebody in foul trouble for the whole game, and I think it was Lamont Butler. But again, like you just know that's what you're going to deal with tonight.
Yeah. It's obviously part of the game, and
it is.
We were talking about Travis Perry and how he stepped up a little bit in the last game. It's going to be some different guys. Like you're probably going to have a Ansley Olmenar game at some point where he's going to play more minutes and needs to step up and hit some threes. And he's played really well in some stretches, but it's the reason that you rely on some depth. And it's a good thing that Kobe Rea was available tonight too, because just with Kirk Reese out, you can't afford for the bench to get any shorter.
I am getting tired of like Dylan says here. I'm getting tired of the late foul call. Like, can we just call it? If we're gonna call it, can we call it like when it happens? Like, I don't need the one like from Florida on Saturday where there was like 3 seconds. It felt like after the initial contact. I think that was one on Garrison.
That's another very frustrating tendency of officials is waiting to see if the ball goes in, which should have no impact.
Brandon, the shooter's touch.
There we go.
I'm gonna pause so we can get on
a couple seconds. Yeah,
but man, he just sticks it.
Yeah.
Don't shoot them all. Shoot them all, Brandon.
Shoot 'em all, man. Hey, sometimes those are the type of shots you need to win on the road. We talked about that in the Clemson game. Clemson banked in a 3. They had a guy that's made like 4 in his career make 1. That's how you win some of those games.
Jackson.
And conversly, you need to make
nice look.
Sometimes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
All
right. Just running a little too fast for his own good, and then a ball screen layup. Just still leaving something to be desired and ball screen coverage.
Oh, don't shoot that. Bang. Of course.
Don't shoot it, he says.
I thought it was hey, look, Lamont Butler, when we got him, I didn't think shooter, but am I going to have to start thinking like that's his shot? I mean, that was tough.
Dude's making them, man. I mean, yeah, he's shot it really well this season.
Air ball. There
we go.
Air ball. All right.
Well, another segment in the books. Still a 1-point lead. I think we led it by 1 after the first one as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So got down by 3 there. So what is 5-1 run or something? But yeah, and it got 2 threes to fall. So there you go. All of a sudden, I think what are they 2 for 7 now?
By noted shooters Brandon Garrison and Lamont Butler.
Yes. And Brandon Garrison, they all look the same in the box score, don't they?
Exactly. Yep.
Looks good from here. My dad. I don't know if I should take my dad's phone call right now.
Oh boy.
But yeah, no. But that's a thing, Brandon. Like in between in the commercials or during the TV timeouts. That's yeah. Oh yeah. It's my dad calls his dad or his dad calls me or I call. Like it's 3 generations of just losing our minds. Yeah. Just come on, cats! Like it's just it. What happens if they win, Brandon? I buy a T-shirt, like I buy a championship T-shirt, but it feels like it matters a lot more than that.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you're seeing so far that is like how I guess? Well, I'll just make it simple. How would you rate Kentucky through the first 2 segments?
I think with it being on the road, especially, and this is something I've talked about with this Kentucky team a time or two as well, is that with the style of offense that Kentucky plays now, with it being so read and react, there's going to be games where it's a little frustrating early, and people can interpret as slow starts. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But there is a little bit of a feeling out process of these games because you have to figure out how's the defense guarding you. What are they? What sort of cuts? What sort of screening action is going to work against how they're guarding you? Because you can game plan all you want, but you don't know how Georgia's going to guard you until the ball gets tipped. So sometimes you need 2-3 segments, maybe even a whole half, like we've seemed to need against Gonzaga or Duke, whoever it may be, and you're going to have to sort of live with just getting along for a couple of segments, and then hopefully you can start to piece together some runs. And heck, we saw it against Florida. It can happen in a hurry, Stephen. Like with this team, we could look up a minute from now and we're up 12 points. Like, and you only need 1 or 2 of those a game in order to find a way to win. And especially when you're on the road, that's what it's all about, is just finding a way to win and making sure at the end of the day you have more points than they do.
We are still in the data collection portion of the program. So we're still collecting data. And that's why Mark Pope is does better in the late first half. I didn't realize Kentucky only had 15 points at the 11-minute mark on Saturday, and
that's when it was 26-15,
is that right?
And then obviously went on the run, but and then 4 minutes later we had 36 or whatever we had.
Man, they are all over Kobe, but it does leave. I mean, guys,
here we go.
On that, I mean, that's what he does, right? Even when he can't even get shots up.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, the reason that Brandon Garrison was open rolling to the basket there is because 2 guys are sprinting after Kobe Brea because they're scared to death to give up a 3-pointer. He has so much gravity to him as a shooter because people spend all week or 48 hours preparing for the game, and all these guys hear about is you better not let Kobe Brea shoot a 3.
Man. Oh, shoot that. Oh, man. I do wish he had a slight quicker trigger. Kick it.
Shoot it. Shoot them all.
Okay.
Nice little drive.
All right.
Here. There we go. Finally got one to bounce.
Andrew, get in my car.
That
was so funny because it was. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, one of the things I talked about before the game was how good Georgia is at protecting the rim, and it's felt like here early in the game, Kentucky's missed a couple bunnies. So it was good to see Andrew Carr get one to go in there, because you're going to have to take the opportunities that are there to score at the rim, because it's really tough against this Georgia team. They block shots as well as anybody in the country.
Oh, damn it!
Just a little loose with it.
Yep. Man, can anybody hold on to the ball?
What ball are they using, Steven?
That's the Nike Championship Elite, so it's a good ball.
As long as it passes.
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one there when those guys, he finishes one kind of throwing it over his head, and Kentucky's missed a couple pretty good looks, but.
Yep. Oh, Travis Perry.
There
we go.
I did not expect him to score many 2s this year. That's a good sign.
Man.
That's a nice
respect.
Drive.
Are we in what are we in here? Are we in we man?
Yep. Playing man.
Okay. Why are we guarding? Okay.
Good rotation. Yep. You'll live with that there. I mean, so some of these Georgia guys.
Oh, shoot that.
You can help off of them. Come on, Kobe.
Let's go.
There we go. Shoot them all, baby.
Kobe Brea.
Let me get the tweet out.
Oh, Sean Smith is about ready to enter the chat. I'm going to get this set up for Sean to come in here. You know what's like, this is gold. Like it's Brandon Ramsey and Sean Smith. Like, that's crazy. Like, we got 2 like X's and O's dudes coming in here. Where was this during the Cal era?
It's what we needed. Let's see. Are they gonna? I think they might extend this to the media timeout at 8:02. I think somebody got popped in the nose or something. No.
All right, here's
We got him.
here's Sean. Yeah.
Hey,
Hey, there he is.
what's up? So I'm playing catch up here because we had a team meeting. So I'm just now getting to turn it on.
Well,
Sean, does
winning,
basketball ever stop for you? Is it just
It
basketball? You dream about basketball?
It never stops. I wouldn't want it any other way, though. I don't think I'd be happy if it stopped.
That's exactly right.
I did that during COVID, and I wasn't happy. So,
Yeah, so you've already tried it. You know what you like.
yeah. How are we looking, Brandon?
Oh, not too bad so far. I mean, it's a road game against a quality opponent. It's not always going to be pretty, especially early on. That's one of the things I was just talking with Steven about. And get your thoughts on this too. I think that, especially with the style of offense you're running this year at Kentucky, you can game plan all you want, figure out what you think the defense is going to do, but there is a feeling out process. I feel like to figure out how you're being guarded and what you're going to be able to execute and how you're going to be able to attack them offensively. And I think that you're seeing that in this game. And you've seen it, I mean, heck, especially against Duke and Gonzaga, sometimes it takes a whole half to figure that out. But I think a lot of games against these better teams, you're going to see it. And it can be interpreted as slower starts or whatever, but there is a feeling out process of 2 or 3 segments, I think, to really see this team start to fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, honestly, because like you mentioned, Duke, Gonzaga, and they make those adjustments, get in the second half, and not just on the defensive side, but on the offensive side as well with those adjustments and kind of see what they're getting and then win those segments in the second half. But first true road SEC game, the line speaks for itself. The opening line, there are no easy games in the SEC this year. If you can, any road win's a great win.
Right. That's one of the things we were talking about before we came on, or I guess kind of in our pregame thoughts, was that it's unfair to call any quad one road game like a must win or anything like that. But you do, if you allow yourself as a fan to start to sort of look ahead, you start to think, well, gosh, like if you don't win this one, then what road games can you mark down as wins? Because let's face it, Georgia's probably certainly
What
a
are we
bottom
looking at
half,
here?
if not a bottom quartile team in the SEC. So I do think this is a really important one to just log it in the win column and get the heck out of there, because you're going to have to find a way to win some road games, or else you're going to find yourself under 500 in the league.
Absolutely.
What are we looking at here on what are they looking at a replay here?
I think, believe it or not, Brandon Garrison was involved in a little bit of a run-in. It was nothing malicious, I don't think. It honestly just kind of looked like the Georgia guy kind of ran his face into Brandon Garrison's chest. I don't think there's going to be anything to add on here. But
you see that stat if you're watching the game, 4-15 to start the game, and they were 0 for 5, I think, from 3, and now they're 3 of their last 3, I believe. Is that right? Are they 3 of 8 from 3?
Brandon Lamont and Kobe all made their yeah.
Oh, get in my car. Dang, just a little long, man. Carr could have so many more 3s this year if he just took off. I mean, or if the rim was like just a little further back, because he's had so many hit the back iron.
Okay, I'm a little bit behind you guys here, I think.
Yeah, Georgia just scored their 23rd point on my TV.
Yep. Okay, I'm seeing the car miss. I'm on YouTube TV.
I am just, I don't know. Carr hadn't shot yet. I'm way behind. All right, Georgia just dunked. Let's see if we can line each other up.
What's the time for you on the clock?
6:43 dead ball right now.
I'm at 7:09.
Okay. I'll pause here for a minute.
Okay, I just saw the dunk. I'm at 6:47.
Yeah.
Side out right here.
Yep. Newell's had a really good freshman year for Georgia.
Yeah.
He's playing well. There, Lamont just dunked now too. I'm probably still a couple seconds ahead.
Yeah, I'm seeing the replay of Georgia's dunk. Yep, I just got it. Lamont's dunk. There we go.
Did you reconnect, Stephen?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Just want to make sure we had you back.
There we go.
We missed you.
Yep. Little Wi-Fi issue. It's fixable.
Stephen, did you have what was the weather like for you where you're at? Did you have power outages or anything?
No, I did not have power outages, but it was not ideal. It's actually I just went on the road just go pick up something and it could barely get around. So
Really?
yeah, it wasn't good. Louisville didn't. Fern Creek wasn't not spared.
Lexington, pretty rough.
Yeah, this is one of the few times that you guys down south had it worse than me up a couple hours north. I mean, we had about 5 inches of snow or so at my house, but like the roads are fine today, and like I mean, there's high school games all over the state tonight and everything. So yeah, everything's pretty much back to normal. But
Colin Chandler's in the game. I noticed he hadn't. I mean, gosh, I didn't turn the ball over. He hasn't. He didn't play at all. I don't think against Florida.
Mm-mm.
No, he did not.
Come on, Jackson. One time, baby. One time. And we send it over the rim. Okay.
Sean and I got
Jesus.
synced up while you were gone, and now you're way ahead, Stephen.
All right, I'll catch up. I'll let you guys catch up. Have you seen the 3-pointer taken from Jackson
No,
yet?
they just made their second free throw for.
Yeah, we're just now inbounding the ball.
Yeah.
And we
Okay.
turned it over.
Well, you're in for a treat. So
Turnover.
it's going to look real good in about
Pull it
20
back.
seconds. Let her fly.
Oh,
That's a good look, but he missed it by a mile. All right.
Jeez. Man, I'm really getting concerned about his confidence.
I mean, he's under 30% from three now. Dang, and then Blue Kane.
now you're down 5.
This
That's what I talked about with Kane. You know, he came in at 29% 3-point shooter, but he's a lot better than that. He was gonna start making them up at some point, but I guess I hope I say that about Jackson Robinson soon too.
Yeah, I know. And that's like, I mean, you look at that, man, like it's 27, 25. He's got it's Jackson Robinson with a wide open look. I feel pretty good about it. I want him taking it every single time.
Every time.
Sends it over the rim. They come down, hit a 3. We go from up 1 to down 5.
It's a 6-point swing.
Yeah.
Miss an open look. Give up.
Yeah, and Stephen, I was talking earlier about how when Brandon Garrison gets that 3 to kind of rattle in off the back rim, how those are the shots that can help you win a game on the road. Well, that sequence, unfortunately, that's one that can lead to you losing. You know, you get a good shooter on your side with an open rhythm transition 3 that he airballs, and then one of their guys comes down and bangs it right back at you. Those are the little stretches you have to just circle as the game goes on.
Pretty sure that score is wrong.
Yeah, ESPN's further behind than we are.
That's crazy. Look, I'll check out this score though.
Whew.
This is what playing on the road in the SEC is going to be like.
All right,
and I think both Kentucky and Tennessee getting a taste of that tonight. That's, It would make it feel better if Kentucky were to lose this game, which I still don't think they will. But if they were, it would make it a lot more, tolerable if Tennessee could also lose.
Yeah,
8 of 8 at the free throw line for Georgia. Kentucky's not been there yet.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. Should have right there. How far ahead am I still?
No, you're good. We're pretty much synced up there. Lamont just laid it in.
Yeah, I just saw a back cut. Yeah.
Come on.
Now. Kentucky was guarding pretty well early, and it's slipped a little bit. Dang. A dribble penetration. These Georgia guards, they mostly want to drive it at you. Outside of Kane, they're not outstanding shooters. Seem to be a little bit better keeping your guy
hit
in front.
hit that. Yes, Ansley.
All right,
Come on.
I'm getting it now. There we go.
There we go. Okay. I told someone today that I think he's going to have at some point in the SEC schedule, he's going to play big time minutes.
And they freaking respond.
Yep.
SEC road game.
Georgia's made their last 6 field goals.
Gosh, yeah, that's no bueno.
Good ball fake.
Nice.
Man, that's easily a foul. I mean,
Oh yeah, just pushed him out of bounds.
damn it. Sumpto and Ansley Almanor going
I
at
didn't have
it.
that on my bingo card
No.
a year ago.
I know one thing. I
Gosh.
don't care if I was a graduate senior, if I was 32 years old like I am now. I don't.
Okay,
care if
so
I was
that's not a
50
foul.
I would not be talking crap to Somto Surreal.
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
If
But
I'm any age, I'm not talking crap to
Nope.
Santo.
man, we're just going to struggle to get stops this year, I feel like.
It's going to be hit or miss. I think there's some decent or even good individual defenders, but it's been a little frustrating to watch it come together, especially the ball screen stuff. It's just not. I don't think they haven't found their calling. I think in ball screen coverage, I don't think they have really figured out what they want to do or what they're good at yet.
Can we not get behind by 3 possessions early, or can we not get this is double? Let's try to avoid getting this double digits.
It's all to test your heart rate, Steven.
It is. I mean, I know we gotta collect data. I want to collect data and we got up by 10 against Florida. So, but we had imagine if we don't fall behind 26-15. They're 10 of 10 from the free throw line. We have shot 0 free throws. And I know we're not a team that whatever. You're just gonna get hosed by the refs when you're on the road. It's just that's what happens. Everybody can watch these breakdowns, these mental breakdowns happen in real time. God,
Man, got to get some of these to fall.
grab the ball. Oh, okay.
Finish. Somebody score it. Oh boy.
Of course. I mean, that's
Oh my gosh. That's tough.
that's just that's what happens on the road, man. That's just we're gonna play a whole half and not shoot a free throw. Like, are you kidding me? They're literally incapable of fouling. Are you kidding me? You're gonna call that? This is why you just hate playing on the road. It's just you're not even
muted,
playing
Sean.
the same game. Not even playing the same game.
I'm enjoying this more than anything me and you can add. Is just watching.
I know.
With him.
Sometimes you just got to let Steven cook.
But what I was saying, you've already had a couple of swings that's worked against you. You miss an open 3, they go hit a 3, you make one, they match it, and then you have a steal and a look in transition, and then you get a whistle against you.
Yeah, that's part of
what
life
leads
on the
to
road.
it.
Like we just keep saying, you have to find a way to overcome some of this stuff, whether it be getting a few shots to fall or stringing a few stops together. We saw it against Florida. It came down to Kentucky started making their runs when they could put a few stops together. I think at some point you're going to have to, whether it's the end of the half here or certainly coming out of the locker room, you're going to have to find a way to come back out and get some stops. That they were doing a pretty good job early on. And what did you say it was, Steven? 6 or 7 straight possessions that Georgia scored now? That's
Georgia made a field goal, and so it's probably. I mean, I don't know. We got to stop right there. We got to steal, but
well, that's true.
yeah. But yeah, now they're in the bonus. Now they're just going to shoot free throws the rest of the half, and it's. I know that the SEC is tough, man, but you got to be able to get some stops. You got to be able to get a stop and a rebound. You got to be able to do both at some point. I don't know. It's just this is just life on the road. You end up with a totally different team. It feels like. I mean, you remember the Arkansas game at Fayetteville and the Arkansas game at Rupp Arena was like those were 4 different teams participating in those contests.
Yeah, it can be like that
sometimes.
And this is a Georgia team too. That's early league test against Kentucky in your own building. You're trying to prove that you're one of the teams in the SEC that could possibly make an NCAA tournament. They're putting all their eggs in a basket too.
That's a good point. I think. I mean, this is Kerr. I was waiting for him to shine in these road games, or I feel like he loves that. I feel like he's a guy who'd embrace like the road environment, like loves being hated, kind of.
Tennessee's really struggling to score.
Is it 28-14? That was the last I saw.
14 at the under 4.
Dang.
Could be worse.
We'll need to find a way to crawl back in this a little bit more and get some momentum going into halftime. I think if Kentucky can get it down to 1 possession going into the half, you got to feel pretty good with how things went overall through this first 20 minutes.
Is play resumed on your end, Brandon?
What's that?
Is play resumed on your screen?
Just now.
Okay. Because mine.
Something. Come on. UGA has won 11 straight at home. I didn't realize that. Is that good though? I don't know. Is that good? I guess it's.
I mean, it's you got to consider that probably 8 or 9 of those are the non-conference games this year against bye games. So
gosh, man, Sumpto just like overpowering us. Like we got the stop, just couldn't get the rebound either time.
Gosh, man, he's a beast.
Yep, that's what we don't. That's what we don't have.
That level of physicality and
wedged him
paired with bounciness inside.
Wedged him on the rebound.
Nice take. Man, I am becoming a bigger and bigger Otega Owe fan every game.
He's the guy that has the athleticism to really be an equalizer. I thought in this game he was going to be really important because the Georgia guards are bigger and more athletic, and he's the guy that can kind of match that. That play you just saw there. Anytime he can reject and play along the baseline, it's good offense for Otega.
And you look at like Brandon there, like he kind of just has his hands up. It's almost like just really trying not to foul. Yeah. Like he just like puts his hands up and backs away.
First free throw attempt.
Yeah, you're right. God. That'll probably be big. So you're just going to get a bad whistle, right? I mean, that's just like you're just not going to get a call. Like it's just can't. We got a foul call there, and then it's like the first call like all night. I mean, I'm not again. There's any of the officials, but geez,
well,
did it not go off?
I mean, the fouls are 8-6, but clearly Kentucky.
And we're just gonna bank in threes too. We're just gonna bank. There's the payback for Brandon Garrison's. I mean, like when you're on the road, just that. I mean, what? Why even?
At least that guy is a 40% 3-point shooter. But
yeah, you can live with that one.
Man, I'll be honest, guys. Hey, there we go. I'm real glad I'm not in Stegman Coliseum right now.
You'd be having a hard time.
This would suck.
An emotional roller coaster for Steve.
Because it's torture. Why do I even do this? But for real, like I'll keep thinking there's gonna be a game where you play a team like Georgia they might be that kind of team where like we're gonna hammer somebody. We're not gonna have to sweat out You got to be kidding me. Oh, then you call. Okay.
I don't think you're going to get many comfortable wins in the league this year.
No. It's just I want a game against a name brand team that I'm not sweating out the final 30 seconds. I mean, I guess I had that against Ohio State. I just want it.
you want to be on the other end of it. It's not going to be easy to finish at the rim.
No, they've had some good looks, good opportunities, but
yeah, well, there's the stat
that's
right
twice.
there on TV, seventh in the country in blocks.
That's twice now that they've had an opportunity at the rim and possession actually ends with a foul on a Kentucky big.
This could not be going
this
any
is
worse.
where this is where your fouls. Your foul total is 9-7, but almost every Kentucky foul has led to free throws.
Yep.
Like every single Kentucky foul has been a shooting foul or something that's put them at the line due to the bonus, where it's been the opposite for Georgia. Georgia's had one foul that's put Kentucky at the line for one free throw.
I think. Hang on. Let me think about this. No, they never got down by. Did they ever get down by 10 against Duke? Because I was going to say, I think they've fallen behind by double digits to every single name brand team. Maybe sans Duke. And they're going to call that on Amari Williams, of course.
Big guy on the little guy. They're going to.
Let me see this. Hang on.
I'm just now seeing it here. Yeah. I had to watch on my phone. My TV was.
What did Amari Williams do there?
They just have to clean that stuff up quicker. That's the.
I can see the push off that he had earlier, but they didn't call that. Jeez. So I know that Duke, they were down 9.5, but they've been down double digits to Clemson, to Gonzaga, to Florida, to Ohio State.
If anything, right there, I wish Kobe would have just given him the ball.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of the extra reversal.
Yep. Yeah, if he's going to work that hard to seal a little guy, you probably should just throw it to him. All right, there we go. That's the same sort of contact, though. They just called it a little sooner that time. I mean, that's the frustrating part with some of that combat that goes on in the post, is that so much of who the foul is called on is just about when you blow the whistle.
Yeah.
If you blow it earlier, a lot of times it's on the defensive guy. If you wait long enough, the offensive guy usually does something to warrant a foul call.
Come on.
Just get to the half.
32-15 down in Gainesville, by the way.
Jeez.
That's
Florida
pretty wild.
It's a good Florida team.
They're really good.
It took Kentucky playing really, really well offensively. I mean,
we've talked about this a ton, on Sources Say, Brandon, that in the league this year, you're going to leave on Saturday feeling really good about yourself, and you may leave Tuesday questioning what the heck just happened for 40 minutes. Like just the way the league looks this year.
Yeah, life comes at you fast. That's for sure. In the SEC this year, you're going to have a lot of weeks like that. I think that there's oh my gosh,
I know, all in and out,
miss the follow. But I think that's something, and I know that by no means is rationality always a strength of us in Big Blue Nation, but it is something to try to hold on to. Is like when things aren't going well on right now, you have to try to remind yourself, as hard as it is, how good things looked on Saturday. That performance still happened. We still beat Florida on Saturday. Whatever happens tonight doesn't change that. If Kentucky stinks tonight, it doesn't mean that we weren't great on Saturday. It doesn't mean that you're not going to turn around and win by 15 points in Starkville next Saturday. It's just part of the roller coaster of the league. Now, I already said that it'd sure be nice to beat teams like Georgia on the road because it could start get real hairy when you don't beat the Vanderbilts, the Georgias, the LSUs, the teams like that are probably going to be at the bottom. But pretty picture wise, it's probably just going to be how the season goes for not just Kentucky, but every other team. Every other team is going to have nights like that as well.
Big tone setting possession right here for the rest of the game. 19-7. Georgia's got possession to start the second half.
Jeez. Yeah, I just saw the score up in our
unfortunately
on the stream here.
Sticker's ahead of everything we have going on.
So now we just get to watch this. I try not to look at it, and I just look down and thinking it already started.
See how this goes wrong right here.
Well, 1-3-1.
Great. I mean, great defense from. I mean, whatever. Tennessee scored 15 in the first half. That's what makes me feel better. I don't know why, but it does. That's just, ugh. I'm gonna throw Zach up on here for a second.
Oh boy,
Zach. First half thoughts. Any good ones? Any bad ones?
Man, Kentucky's playing very weak basketball. I feel bad for you, Steven. I wanted to just jump into that camera and give you a big old hug a couple times.
Just regroup.
That was a rough first half. I will say, man, that I'm not even going to blame officials or anything. That was just weak basketball from Kentucky. They weren't even trying. Looked like they were, especially Brandon was just getting his, not you, Ramsey, not Coach Brandon. Brandon Garrison, just every time they were putting two guys on him, he just freaked out, had no idea what to do. And then Murray gets his third foul. Not having Ortega for most of that half was really, I think, the big difference there. That was not having him out there made life difficult, but thank God for Lamont Butler.
Trouble. And you're just going to have to, if somebody's getting 2 fouls in the first half, just a guarantee. And I mean, I'm not blaming the refs. I don't know. I didn't see, he probably did foul on both those times.
Either. Does Jackson need to do another performative post-game shoot around or something? Or maybe he shouldn't have done like that, because that was a terrible, terrible, terrible first half from him. I don't know what is wrong with him. That was not even remotely close to the player that we saw like at Gonzaga or anything. Something's going on with him, and I hope he gets it figured out, because that was rough.
That 12 of 12 at the line for Georgia.
Yeah, UK didn't even, I don't think they shot their first free throw until like 3 minutes left in the first half. Of course, Newell bakes in that, or hits that three at the end. It's always the kiss of death when an opposing team banks in a three as well.
Yeah, we were saying at least that guy's a 40% three-point shooter, but yeah, you never like to see him bank one in, and then Newell, I'm pretty sure that was his 8th three of the season that he just made. So that's not necessarily his game. Blue Kane, who came in 29%, we know he's a good shooter, but he's made a couple now. So yeah, there's a lot of things that are going Georgia's way, but quite frankly, Kentucky's allowing a amount of that stuff to go their way. And I think that physicality and finishing, which somewhat go hand in hand, those are going to be two things really to watch here in the second half. I thought that, as we knew they would do, Georgia did a really good job of protecting the rim, and they did a really good job on the glass, and they got to the free throw line, which is another thing they do well. So I think you've seen Georgia play to their strengths so far, which is, again, something that happens at home quite a bit. And right now you're seeing, while they're playing to their strengths, you're seeing Kentucky's weaknesses get exposed a little bit.
So what do we do? How does this get better? Shots start going in.
Was this second straight game that Amari Williams has 3 fouls at the half? Did that happen? Was that Florida
I
game?
don't think he had 3 against Florida. I think he had 2 against Florida, maybe.
Because I know Pope put him. I thought there was one more game where he got number 3 in the first half.
There was.
Just
there, at least there was somebody.
Would be nice. Have an Oweh ready to play. Like, I mean, you might just play him the whole half. Him and Butler. I mean, maybe just put Bray in the rest of the game too. He had that one go in and out. Those are just tough.
I know.
That's what we were talking about earlier. You had a couple of looks that you get a steal. Next thing you know, you get an offensive, you get a foul. They're going the other way. There's free throws. You had a 3 rattle out.
They banked one.
Missed the tip. They banked one.
That's
they
a
closed the half
right
with.
there. This
they
could
closed the
easily be a
half hitting a
7-point
contested
game.
3. So like you've had a lot go against you. Georgia ball. It will be Georgia possession coming out too. Pretty important to get a stop early.
Travis Perry, though. He's not bad. He's been fine.
At least
I like
we have
Ainsley
that.
getting in there, mucking it up a little bit. Maybe he had to put Ainsley in there a little bit more. I mean, he can't guard Somto or Newell, but
Somto's
he's
got
gonna at
6
least try.
boards.
Yeah,
6 boards, and half of them was on one trip.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm really feeling. Sorry, go ahead.
I was say Damari going 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Like, you got to keep these guys out of the paint. And there's just very little resistance.
I'm really starting to feel a little worried about Jackson's confidence. I think that's the reason we saw him out shooting shots at the end of the game on Saturday, because he's just not. He's not doing what we thought he was going to do, and we see it in spurts, and we know that he's like really good. Like he's capable of taking a game over, and just some of those shots. And it's not that he's missing. He airballed one, but the other ones are just like he's missing short or missing long. Like it's so fixable. You're talking about millimeters. I don't know what's the smallest form of measurement. What's that? That's how much he's missing.
Sure.
That's
I
how.
haven't tapped into my European metric system lately.
It's quite the trivia question.
Well, this is
I do think Kentucky will settle in and be.
They'll make a push at it
in the second
Yeah.
half.
Yeah, they'll make a push.
Unless the only way they'll be worse is if they just lie down and don't fight back, which I suppose could happen, but
Yeah, I think that obviously we want to win the game more than anything else. And whether we see that happen tonight or not remains to be seen. But I do think that there's no reason to believe, based on everything we've watched in this season, there's no reason to believe the second half isn't going to be better. We've watched adjustments be made in a big way, really, at halftime of several games against teams that are better than Georgia, to be quite frank with you. So I think that you'll see a different Kentucky team in this half. Is it enough to come back from 13 points on the road? We got 20 minutes to figure that out, but I do, at least right now, I'm still confident that the next 20 minutes is going to be better than the last 20 minutes.
It'd be hard to be worse, I feel like.
I thought this was an interesting comment.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Sean, go ahead.
Well, you can't not look at the 12 for 12 with the free throw line too. I mean, that's one thing that's got to flip in this half. I mean, you got to get to the free throw line more. You got to keep Georgia off the free throw line. Like I said, the foul totals were close, but every single whistle put Georgia at the free throw line, and on the other side, it did not put Kentucky at the free throw line.
Yeah,
Get stops. Got to string stops, consecutive stops together. How many of those can you get in the second half?
that's a big thing, like you mentioned, with Georgia, with Kentucky's fouls putting Georgia at the line. That goes back to their aggressiveness off the dribble and the way their guards drive it and put pressure on you, and the way obviously their forwards can rebound it and be physical around the rim, sort of making you foul them at times. And just look at the score. Georgia's made 12 free throws. They're up by 13 points. If Kentucky can just do a little bit better job of staying between them and the basket, not putting themselves in positions to foul, then you can cut that lead in half in a hurry by just not putting them in positions to get easy points. Because I think if you, even with some of Kentucky's defensive deficiencies, if you make Georgia have to make shots for the next 20 minutes, then Kentucky's going to have a chance offensively to go win the game. So I think that you can hold Georgia to 35 in this next half and go try to score 50 and win the game.
We got to get better free throw defense also.
Yeah. Go contest them.
Well, they put a good guy at the free throw line 8 times, so
Yeah. It's going to help. It's going to hurt the cause. Well, it sucks. You got to this is a decent Georgia team and you got to outscore them by 14 if you're going to win in regulation. Which is possible.
We've seen it happen.
It's very, very possible. If I was, again, holding on to some hope that this might have been the game where Kentucky just runs away with one. Well, if they were going to do that, they were going to be up by 14 or so at the end of the half. So why not? Let's just do it. Let's do it for the second 20 minutes. I'm trying to stay positive. All right, we've seen this team come back. Georgia's good, but they're not that good. We're not making shots. We got to get our best players in the game.
Just chip away. Just chip away at it. Kentucky's got to run on them. But you got to get stops. You have to string stops together to get that run, though.
All right, I'm going to pop back out of here, y'all. Steven, you can take over my spot. I'll catch y'all in the wherever.
Yeah, if you want to pop in at the end of one of the TV timeouts.
Follow me on Twitter at
C. Hagan. Yeah, I might pop in at the very end there, depending on what this game's looking like. But if not, I'll see y'all later.
See you in the group chat. All right.
Later.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Steve, you look like a movie star, man. Got that crystal clear camera. Look at him.
For the camera nerds out there, it's the Lumix GH6 with the Sigma 18-35 lens.
Nerd.
I know.
Write that down.
Write it down. Oh man.
Yeah, I need to upgrade from my MacBook video feed.
Same.
Maybe one day we'll be able to do one of these in person.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I think that, like, in all seriousness, like doing some producing on the fly here, as you do well, Stephen, it would make it a lot easier because, like, quite frankly, it is a little difficult when we're all on like 3 different wavelengths of timing.
Yes.
That makes things a little bit clunky. Like, I'm trying to like watch the game while having some thoughts, and I look down and I see the freaking score on the score bug here, and then I hear Steven yelling about the officiating with something that's not going to happen for another 30 seconds.
We'll get the bugs worked out.
I know something good has happened or something horrible has happened before it happens. But hey, the real treat's watching the game with Stephen Peak.
Yep.
I just hope it's.
Man!
I hope it's a good ending for you, Stephen.
I know. I haven't accepted the fact that they could lose this game yet. So it's gonna. If that happens in the second half, you'll see it. You'll see like it gets. It's so dumb that as an adult, like, it would ruin my day, but it will. It'll ruin tomorrow. I will wake up and I'll be like, why do I feel bad? Oh yeah, because some 18 to 23-year-olds lost a basketball game last night, and it's heavily affected my emotions for the rest of the week. No, I will have less fun driving down to Starkville on whenever we go down there if they lose tonight.
Driving down to Starkville at all, so
you're not supposed to anyway, right?
Yeah,
that's not meant to be an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, you're already starting on the wrong side.
My man Matt right here has to get up at 4 a.m. for work tomorrow. And we have Clint, who I know is watching, and he's in Cyprus. It's like 3 a.m. there. I think it's 3 in the morning over there. And this guy's got to be at work at 4 4 a.m. and he's sacrificing sleep to watch the Cats trail by 13 at Georgia.
We
I feel that.
appreciate the viewers.
Gosh. Frank says 106 points last game and can't score 40 and a half. I mean, I just, shots weren't going in. Like, we had guys missing just short, just long. Kobe's three goes in and out. Did we miss 2 free throws? No, we only missed 1, right? So, I mean, I don't know. And then you play, how long did Ortega sit out?
Probably the final 5 minutes?
Where is he at? I was trying to see the whole. Oh, there we go. Okay, the whole thing on this. I don't know. It's so frustrating. Can we get a few? Like, I want a few of these wins like in a row. Is that getting greedy? Like, I don't want to have to like lose one and then.
I like when we win a few in a row. I don't think anybody's going to argue with you on that one, Steven.
It's just you get a big win and then you're like, you go into Clemson, you think, oh, well, we're going to probably win this game. Then you lose that one. But then you beat Gonzaga, you get all excited, and then, lose to Ohio State. So it's just, I guess Louisville. You get the Louisville game. So that was 2 in a row. But just like the ups and downs of being a Kentucky football and basketball fan this year.
If you can win a couple of games in a row in the league, you're putting yourself in a solid position. Because Brent, I don't know how you feel about it, but there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to be 1-1, going to have split weeks this year in the league. And how many of those individual pods of 2-game trips can you go 2-0?
Right.
And yeah, I mean, you're seeing that right now from number 1 Tennessee.
Exactly.
That it's going to be difficult, but I think Kentucky's got to run. I trust. Obviously, we've seen this outside of Ohio State. Kentucky in the spot, they've made adjustments. They've had good second half. So I think we've seen the blueprint. Now you just got to trust it, and let's see if this team can string stops together.
Yep, let's make it happen.
I was worried about this game all day because it's those games that for some reason I was all confidence against Florida, and it might just be the playing at home versus playing on the road. But I just whenever we get away from Rupp Arena, especially in this league and especially this season now, I mean but like you guys have said, this is the one you kind of needed to get if you were going to get. There's not a whole lot of road victories out there,
right? Yeah, and that's to Sean's point about trying to find those 2 in a row pods where you can win. Again, hate to get ahead of yourself, but if this isn't one of them, then it does start to get more difficult. Not that you can't go into Starkville and win, or not that you can't go in and. So I think we all know now that Kentucky can beat everybody on their schedule, but in the SEC you can lose to everybody on the schedule too. So now, when you have some opportunities, you probably need to try to convert.
Why? Just he was not going to be a foul until he took that extra step. Right? It wasn't a foul until he walked. Oh well. I'm not that upset about that call, but it's like, is it a foul or is it not?
Gotta get some stops, get some rebounds. And you'll score enough, I think, to make a run.
That's the one thing. The second half versus Florida, we only got how many stops? Like 3 or 4
in a row.
No, I don't think we ever got that many in a row. But there was there weren't very many possessions where Florida didn't get a free throw or.
I don't remember. We get 3 or 4 kills in that half.
Nah. There's Clint Darden. He's watching in Cyprus right now, and it's again 3 in the morning, I think.
We love that, my man Clint. You're the best.
He's awesome. If you don't follow him on Twitter, you're missing out. Okay.
Here we go.
Jeez.
Where are you all at?
I just got Lamont's goaltend.
Okay, cool. We're on the same thing then. I'm seeing the replay of the steal right now. Defense to offense.
That's something I've wanted to see more of from Kentucky, is trying to force more turnovers. It's been something that I've talked about it in several different platforms, but it's been really a disappointment of mine this year. I thought this team would force more turnovers. I just did. I thought it was going to be a part of what they did defensively, and especially with how good they are in transition. If you can create some of those opportunities via turnovers, I think it would mean a lot for this.
Hey, go on, Mari.
All right, good rebound.
There's your kill.
Finish it off. There
There
we
you
go.
go.
Got a kill. 3 stars.
Amari-
It would have been nice to finish it on the other end of the last trip too. But
It would have been. I mean, you got what you wanted. I mean, you get Owe on a baseline drive.
yeah. I mean, you take that look every time.
Are you all watching the second half? Yeah, I think so.
Seen some of the intensity pick up though. And then you get Jackson Robinson on a back cut.
Damn, man. That dude is killing us.
Hey, we're getting the whistle to blow a little bit there, Steve.
There we go. Yeah. All of that.
My phone, man. It's loud.
So already 1 kill to start the second half, and you got Amari Williams. Would he already have 3 rebounds this half? No, he's got at least 2. Man, sometimes we miss. Oh my gosh. They call it on Amari?
Yep.
That's 4.
It's 4.
Well, that's not good. I think we were talking about it earlier, Stephen, with Jackson's confidence and how I think that scoring impacts him in a lot of different ways on the floor. I think him getting back cut there. Yeah. If he made that transition 3 in the first half, if he had 10 points at the half, I don't think he gets back cut that way. It's something he has to get better at.
Keeps him engaged. Yep.
Gosh, man, that's huge.
Need big minutes from Garrison here, and I think also too, which heck, this could be a good thing. Probably going to be a second half where you see some Andrew Carr minutes at the 5. Could really open some things.
Yeah. It's not looking good, guys.
We had an opportunity to get it down to what, 7?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, when you got that kill there and you got it to 9, you just needed to keep putting the pressure on them as opposed to letting them get it right back to where it was.
Yeah, I mean, this is
go, Brandon.
All right.
Big offensive rebound.
Yeah, it's huge. There's looking a little bit like I don't know. Well, that kind of offensive scheme where you just you drive and hope for a foul.
I love that. Get it up on the rim, try to rebound it.
There it is. I mean, it works. It works sometimes for sure.
Heck, that's half of Georgia's game plan.
Yeah. Are they just going to take the shot clock down to under 10 every time now?
Where you have to get stops.
It's our ball.
You got it. You won the first.
Boom.
You won the first segment.
Yep. Won it by 2. We gotta speed up the pace a little bit, but
yeah.
We're on the plus side, though.
Where would you like this to be at the next TV timeout? Where you would feel like, okay, they're about ready to take control.
My thing's to keep it single digits and then make that run under 10, under 12 timeout. That's where if you can just keep it single digits, you can't let this thing balloon to 14 or 15.
Right. Yeah. I think you have to. The main thing is to not undo the work that you've done when you're trying to make runs like this. Like, okay, Georgia had a 13-point lead at the half. Kentucky got it to 9. You already let it get back up to 13 once, but you've kind of overcome that. You can't let it keep getting back to 13. You have to Georgia's still going to score something too. They're going to have their own runs. You just have to keep moving in the right direction where Kentucky's run gets it to 5, then Georgia's run only gets it back to 10. And then Kentucky's next run gets it to 4, Georgia's next run only gets it to 8. And you have to kind of keep moving in the right direction as you're trying to make larger comebacks like this. You can't afford to 10 minutes into the half have it be where you started at halftime. If that's the case,
exactly.
Yeah, you're just fighting too much of an uphill battle. So yeah, I think if you get it to single digits, get it to 8 points, something like that, at the next break, and then you can really start talking about putting some game pressure on Georgia. Because that's the other thing too. You have to think about all these fans came here for T-shirt night or whatever the heck it was, game night, when they're playing Jeopardy and all kinds of stupid stuff, and they're all here to see a win. Like everybody's going to start to get real tight if all of a sudden at 5 minutes to go it's a 5-point game, because they're Georgia basketball fans, kind of the same way we're Kentucky football fans. They're all going to be thinking, all right, here we go again. We're not really supposed to win this game. We're playing Kentucky. Like that's the way we would think. Like that's the way Kentucky basketball would think against Georgia, or Kentucky football would think against Georgia football. Yeah, it works the same way in basketball. They're all going to start to feel like they're supposed to lose the game.
My goodness,
put some pressure.
Florida 43, Tennessee 18. Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you. Feel good about yourself on Saturday. You go to bed on Tuesday wondering what the heck just happened. But you're right, Brandon. Like you get a kill there. You know, Georgia, if Kentucky doesn't get that stop right there late in the clock and Georgia hits a basket, then you're even. You're even from where you were to start the half. Like you can't undo your work.
Yep.
Like you said.
Well, now would be a good time also to once again start connecting from deep. It's so crazy. 4-14 from downtown for Kentucky. I just feel like we got better shooters than that.
What is it?
Out here.
We're 4 of 14, and we have 2 threes from Ansley Almanor, or one from Ansley Almanor and one from Brandon Garrison. That's not a goaltend?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
That's 2. That's 2 for him this half. Nearly turned it over.
Yeah, he did. All right. Got to get a stop here.
Yep.
Big possession.
Come on, Cats, let's go.
Locked in defensively as we get. All right.
Ooh.
There we go.
Good job not quitting on the play there, too. Get back cut.
Getting out of my seat. Hang on. Come on. Good. Dang, it's twice he just missed long.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
This is brutal.
This is all I can.
What in the hell was that?
I should be saying something, but man, I'm just holding.
We're all just holding our breath.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what's.
This is great live YouTube.
There was like 3 or 4. There were like 3 or 4 bounces right there that I'm just like, please, somebody else get the ball. Please, somebody else get the ball.
Oh my goodness!
I kind of just kept hoping it was just going to like squirt under the rim and we were going to be wide open, like
the possession before, where kind of.
They called that a shooting foul.
Well, this is where the whistle in the first half. You had a couple of whistles that puts Georgia at the line that were just bad breaks. That right here. I mean, that was a position that was ready to die at any point for Kentucky.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, they got one stop come out of the timeout. See if they can convert another one here. After Carr hopefully makes this free throw. Yep. All right.
There you go. Man, we're synced up now, Brandon.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good omen. We all just needed to sync up. That was the problem in the first half. We were all off kilter.
Come on, let's go. One more stop. Like just 12 more stops and you got this.
Yeah, 12 more.
Preferably all of them in a row. No.
Got to get a board.
Okay, good.
Get it out.
Man. Look at
he takes it too.
And 1. Damn it. Just let him have it at that point.
Taking a good job kind of cracking down there. Almost stole it from Somto as he had the ball low. But, yeah, I mean, it's just we're never in position to rebound that ball.
And Andrew, like, why? Right there. Are you grabbing? I mean, and if you're gonna do that,
You
like,
gotta do your work. You gotta do your work early against a body like that.
Yep.
gosh, hold his arms down or something. Make it to where he can't. Because there's no way he's making this free throw, right? I mean, what's he shoot from the free throw line? I'm gonna look real stupid when it's like 85% or something.
Yeah, now you're getting in a tough spot. I mean, especially when you're already struggling on the glass. Now you have Andrew Carr with 3 fouls. You got 4
What are we
on
looking at here?
Did he get like
Hit
across the face or something?
That's what I'm wondering on a swipe. Or maybe on a box out, did we get something?
And so you got 2 bigs with 3 fouls. I mean, you just know, man. Like, okay, you could. I mean, I know. I would rather them not. But could you have called a foul
wrapped him
on Sumto for pushing off? I don't know. Probably not. But there was nothing malicious about that.
I mean, it's going to look pretty weak for Andrew Carr if you get called for a flagrant foul and the dude makes the shot.
Yeah. Yeah. The what?
They're acting like they're putting the shot clock at 20.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
What? So
I don't know about this.
Yeah. Since we can't really listen to the.
So they are going to call a flagrant? That is unbelievable.
They called a hook and a hold.
That is
where?
Grab his.
I mean,
what? He did have a grip, didn't he?
I guess you can probably implement it but like the hook and hold stuff, that was.
Are we kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Like a rebounding foul.
It's definitely not a hook and a hold, but it was a hold.
I mean, what are we even doing? So yeah, no way he's making. There's 0% chance of him making that free throw.
That's
0%.
Pretty big flip right there.
So he gets 2 shots in the ball then, and the basket counts. Okay. Yeah, again, no chance he's ever making these free throws. No chance. That was, I mean, did he have to shoot them? Or could they? Was it like a?
Yeah, he had.
Could somebody? Okay.
Well, I mean, if you can find a way to still get a stop now, then you come out of this semi-unscathed, other than the 2 points they got to begin with. But
and the third foul on Andrew Carr.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I mean, this is pretty worst case scenario that we're talking right now. Like
the scary part looking forward is just it's hard, especially within this game and with the foul situation the way that it is. There we go. It's hard to see the rebounding getting a lot better.
Unbelievable.
Finish.
That left hand wanted to die out, didn't it?
Oh
kick
my gosh!
Kick the ball.
He's sliding.
Kick the ball. Just come on. You're gonna call that too? Are you kidding me?
I knew that was coming.
Oh my God. What are we even doing? What are we doing? Like, this is what you just hate playing on the road. It's such a joke, man. You have to play it. It's a completely different game.
The left hand gave out right there.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to be able to.
And it starts with that. I mean, like you give the referee an opportunity to make that call by not passing the ball to Lamont Butler right there. You could really just you don't get that call in Sunday Night Men's League. Like, you don't get that call. They would laugh at you. I'm gonna drive in, just throw it up, and go into the body. Like, come on, man. Like, how is that even basketball? Like, I hate that.
We're getting bailed out by them missing.
They are. It's a lot of free throw misses right here for Georgia. This thing could easily be 13-14
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, Georgia had an opportunity to do exactly what we talked about, Sean. Like they had an opportunity to just undo all the work that Kentucky did. Luckily, now what are we looking at?
Well, let's give Kentucky another technical. While we're looking at the screen, let's just throw another. There we go. Get a little review. Oh, let's see if we can get another flagrant on Kentucky. This is good. It's good stuff.
They're looking at this in
looks
between
like
free throws.
It looks like the play where Garrison. Yeah.
Oh,
please.
We're gonna get him a flagrant for that too. I bet. Let's just go ahead and do that.
Hands off.
Oh my God! Come on.
Is it going to happen, Brandon?
No, surely not. I mean, the thing I always say in these situations, if you don't want to get hit in the face, then get their hands off of them. Like the Georgia guy had two hands on Brandon Garrison as he's trying to drive it. And that's what happens first. If you get hit in the face, then you should have blown the whistle to begin with. I know they can't really go back and do that, but to me, that should matter when you're looking at what happens after the fact. Like, well, okay, we missed the foul call, so I'm not going to give him anything extra for hitting the dude in the face.
They chose to look at that mid free throw too, didn't they?
That was insane. That was the most insane part. I was like, he's already shot a free throw. What are we doing? Like, if I was Georgia, I wouldn't even have wanted that.
I'm loving it. Just loving that you have to overcome this overcome the refs being influenced by the crowd.
Wow,
it's fun.
Another miss should be our ball.
No, I'll probably stay with Georgia.
Of course not.
You're just not going to get a call. It is what it is.
Here, though. You just got to regroup, huddle up. Emotions, handle it. They're 0 for 4 from the free throw line.
Yeah, that's arguably kept Kentucky in the game right here.
It has. You just got to get a stop here.
Rebound one. All right, now you got transition.
I'm surprised they didn't try to get Almanor for a foul there.
Whew.
And one. Is that not a foul? That wasn't a foul?
What? Gosh dang it, Brandon. What? He just can't help himself.
He got fouled. Garrison did.
I thought so too, Stephen.
Yeah.
And no call. This is ridiculous.
I like that he's trying to punch it on him. Man, Santo got way up on that. Yeah, that should have been an and one.
Another stop. Come on. Let's string a couple together.
It's just you can't play a certain way, and they're allowed to play a certain way.
That's a tough drive.
It was.
You can't do anything. You have to let them go. They will call a foul on you. I'll stop complaining about the officials. I know it's boring anyway, but
got ball by Ansley's hip right there.
I can't help it. Oh, don't have to do that. You don't have to.
Attack that foot.
Yep. That's one of those drives too, where it's high major Division I basketball, and I'm sure with your Frederick Douglass guys, you're still telling people the guys are left-handed. It happens at Kentucky and Georgia too. You guys got to remember he's freaking left-handed, and he's going to whip you that way if you're not ready for it.
Kick it out. Just kick the ball out. Why? Yeah. One more pass. One more.
All right, there we go.
Nice.
These possessions have not been pretty.
No.
They're as beautiful as the Kentucky-Florida game was.
Why does Brandon think he has to shoot that? Why does he think that? I don't understand.
I don't know if he's in a comfortable position with the ball there too.
Nice D. Give it up.
There he goes.
Here we go.
Please give it up. Please give it up. Please
give it up. Give it up.
My goodness.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Hey,
Brandon Garrison.
I take it back. He's in a comfortable position with the ball.
Come on, let's go.
This is either the funniest thing for other people to watch, or people absolutely hate it. There's no chance there's any in between.
No,
we're starting to lose it.
I'll say this though, Georgia.
What did y'all say? That under 12, you wanted it down to what, 5 or 6? Sorry, Sean.
I said 6.
My bad.
Sean just said single digits. So,
well, here's the thing too. Georgia's missed their opportunity to kind of deliver the knockout punch.
100%.
And this is where some of that game pressure that Brandon was talking about earlier, it's now on Georgia. It's not on Kentucky. It's on Georgia now in that building. And you'll start to see it. Georgia gets tight. The building gets tight. Kentucky just has to keep getting stops. So it's been some ugly possessions, but they've ended well for Kentucky on the offensive end. You'll take how you can get. You'll take it any way you can get it, though.
Absolutely. We talked about it before the game. I've talked about it for 48 hours leading into this game. I'm sure all of us have talked about it, heck, since before the season started with how good the SEC was going to be. I mean, there's going to be a lot of games like tonight where it's going to be ugly as heck. It's not going to be a whole lot of fun to watch. We're all going to be sitting here going crazy for, an hour and a half. But ultimately, if we can put one in the win columns, that's all that's going to matter, especially in these road trips. And, right now, Kentucky's gotten themselves back in a position where they can make that happen. Heck, it's a 5-point game with 12 minutes to go. There's a lot of basketball to be played here, and you're starting to hopefully see some things take shape defensively. And I think if Kentucky can end some possessions with defensive rebounds and allow themselves to play in transition a little bit, you've seen it there. I mean, it's been a little loose in transition, to say the least, with a couple of these plays, but they're still making some things happen there. And I think it just starts with stringing together more stuff.
4 of 15. 4 of 15 from 3. I think in the next
got to see
12 minutes, you're going to see a couple go through.
Well, and you got in this half too, I think both teams now are at 10 turnovers each on the game, but you got 4 Georgia turnovers this half to Kentucky's 3. Kentucky's got 6 points off those turnovers, like one we just saw a moment ago. That's kind of led to live ball situations where Georgia has 0 points off Kentucky's 3 turnovers. So 6-0 in the turnover margin.
Yeah, and that's what we were just talking about a minute ago too, with wanting to see this Kentucky team force some more turnovers. You see how good. I mean, up against Florida, they didn't force a lot of turnovers, but heck, what did they have, Sean? Like 20 points on 9 turnovers.
Yeah, on single-digit turnovers.
Yeah, you see how effective they are at converting those into points. So just a little bit more flying around, a little bit more aggressiveness on that end, especially. You're 14 games into the year. I think it's fair to say Kentucky's not an outstanding sit down and guard your defensive team. Let's throw some things at the wall and see if being a little bit more aggressive and causing some more havoc can bring out the best in you and even make your offense that much better.
And foul troubles flipped you a little bit, rotation wise with your minutes on the interior and stuff. But like big stretch here for Garrison and it's just energy stuff, offensive glass, and getting some putbacks.
Yeah, he was responsible for 4 points. The one by taking a terrible shot that led to Kentucky scoring, and then the steal in the Euro.
Those free throws and those flagrant situations in an OB under that Georgia came up empty is going to be the stretch we're talking about, though, where they go 0 for 4 at the line and then don't score. Just got to keep getting stops.
Nice.
Brandon Garrison.
Oh, man. Gosh, I wish we could come up with one of those.
And foul.
Yeah, foul.
Yeah. Now, how many is that on him?
I think that's 2. Am I wrong? Should be 2.
I think that was on Butler.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think he got him from the side. I think he kind of came down into space there on the side.
Now we get the timeout.
So is this the under 12?
Yeah.
Okay. Man.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they keep up.
The tough ones. I mean, Brandon Garrison made a really good defensive play there, but it's hard to. You can't really say much about rebounding a block shot like that, and then a little bit of a broken play. They get a good shooter. You're flying at them a little bit. Now you give them 3 free ones. We'll see if they can dodge another bullet and get this guy to miss a couple.
Yeah, at least maybe miss one. Man.
He missed 2 a minute ago.
This is a weird game. This is one of the weirdest games of the season. They're just ugly.
Welcome to the SEC.
Well, I know. I mean, and like, what do you guys think about the comparison to the Big East of 2011? I mean, it was kind of like it was tough. It was like a lot of it was very physical, um, and every night there was a good matchup. I mean, you faced a good team every night.
Well, I think you've seen it in some of the metrics, on Ken Palm or different things. The SEC is not just the best conference in the country this year. The SEC is one of the best conferences that we've seen in a couple of decades. Yeah, it's up there with some of those Big East best conferences, or back in the day with the ACC, some of the conferences they put together. It's a historically strong conference, not just at the top, but with the depth of, you've seen the bracketologies and stuff. You're talking about 12 plus NCAA tournament teams, and how teams are going to be playing 14 quad one games in the conference. Like that's unprecedented type of stuff. And I do think it'll be interesting, especially with the quad one and how important that is on Selection Sunday. Like, how do we sort of reshape our frame of reference of what losses mean? You're used to seeing a 3 seed or a 4 seed have 9 losses. Like, well,
Yeah.
Could a 20 and 11 team from the SEC be a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament this year?
Well,
Because they have
Yes.
8 quad one wins?
Yeah, according to Bartovic, he's. I put Kentucky in at like I think was it 8 and 10, and
So
they had him as like a 3 seed.
when you have what's
No, sorry, 4 seed.
So when you have what's happening kind of tonight, right? Like, Tennessee, number 1 in the country, getting beaten the way they are by Florida. Kentucky just beat Florida. You've got Kentucky on a dogfight on the road in Georgia. Brandon, when the league's this good, I think when you get to this point in the season, you play each other for 2.5 months, I think it becomes hard to evaluate it. Like, how do you evaluate these teams? Because they're not going to have those stretches like you saw in the non-conference where they were just beating everybody in college basketball. That I think it kind of mucks it up a little bit when you're trying to evaluate these teams individually. But when 14 of your league games are quad one opportunities, none of the losses really hurt you. And I mean,
Right.
a lot of teams, I mean, you're going to be that first night and second day of the SEC tournament are going to be something to see.
Yeah, I know. Hey, you did miss one. There you go. I'm bringing a jump ball.
You got to possess that ball, though.
God.
Another OB under.
This could be a big moment in the game right here, 55-50, and they end up with like a 5 point possession.
But
Georgia's
that's what
definitely been
run.
coming
Like,
up
okay,
empty
Kentucky
right here.
made their run to 5. You just can't let Georgia's answer be more than to 8 or 9. You can't let it get back up to double figures, or you start to undo too much of your work. Man,
No.
rebound it.
Gosh.
Long rebounds. Don't foul.
I'd rather him just made that free throw now,
Yeah, you would now.
And they're going to call them.
Another foul on Carr. 2 free throws coming.
Jeez. Did he foul him? I mean, you're letting them get underneath.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to make you jump and get real vertical when you're in that restricted part.
Yeah.
Dang it. That's a foul. I mean, gosh, you'd rather him just make that free throw. Just make it 58-50. We'll take the ball.
Like I said,
Now it's going to be 59-50. Carr's got 4 fouls.
Could be that stretch I've been talking about with Ainsley here, Brandon,
Yeah.
where you got to lean on him for a stretch.
Yeah. See if he can come down and make a couple threes in this stretch. That's how he
Is there anything that we can do to get rebounds? I mean, we're boxing out, but we're not. I mean, what can we do? What are you all seeing?
The thing I always go back to, and obviously it's hard when you don't know what they talk about in practice, but I always talk about, sometimes it's just as important to not let your guy get the rebound sometimes as it is to go get the rebound. And when I was coaching, we always talked about hit and stick and hit and get guys. You had some guys like a Kobe Brea. He's probably a hit and stick guy, meaning you go hit your guy and you're pretty much just sticking with him so my guy doesn't get the rebound. Then you have your hit and get guys like an Amari Williams who you expect to be able to go get a rebound. Now, the key, both of those roles started with the word hit. And I think that, initiating some contact is something that you're going to have to see Kentucky get better at as the season goes on. because you just got to find a way, especially with these long rebounds. You just got to track a few down. Man, in and out again for Kobe.
I know.
Tough possession.
You guys, everyone's plus minus is in the negative right now.
It's not shocking.
Wow.
Oh, the last possession, I don't think the ball ever got inside the 3-point line at all.
No.
Georgia being very physical. Foul situation flipped a little bit too.
Yep, Kentucky's in the bonus the rest of the way now.
Yeah.
We are or they are? Look, I mean, gosh, thanks. So, did they call the foul?
Yeah, they did.
Did they call a foul on him? Okay.
So yeah, we're shooting the rest of the way now.
Okay, I only see 4 fouls for them.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yep, I'm my brain's backwards.
Come on, Jackson. We got to get something out of it.
Whew. Going up.
Back cut pressure.
Yeah.
There we go. Come on.
This little answer.
You're right
here,
there.
It's exactly
what we like. The pace is.
Yeah.
Well, this whole half's been a grind.
Yeah.
This first 10.
This is exactly what we were talking about, though. With Georgia was able to get it back up to 9, but if you can make a couple free throws here, get a stop, score again, then you continue moving and shifting things in the right direction.
Yep.
If you're Kentucky, you just can't let it get back to double figures and extend the lead and undo all that work you did in the first 10 minutes, because you're going to have to do some more work here in these next 10. All right.
Right on that mark.
Stop and a rebound.
How much time is on the shot clock for you all?
13.
Okay, cool.
All right. And we rebounded it.
There you go.
Here we go. Come on.
Thought he was throwing it.
Man, that guy's missed a couple.
Oh my!
And he hasn't, and they've been bad misses too. Come on. Like you all said, if you can get this thing down, get the crowd nervous, the players will feed off that energy, they'll know.
Oh, that's a tough one.
It's putting Georgia at the free throw line too.
Yep.
Those whistles I was talking about in the first half.
Why is that a foul? What did he do? Did he use him to push off?
He clearly got called for pushing in the back. How much he did it, we'll see. Maybe on a replay.
And that was going to be an easy putback. I mean, it's a 4-point swing if he makes both.
And those are the whistles that kill you, though, because you're walking, 90 feet to the other end of the floor and shooting.
And and we're just going to watch a freaking Georgia free throw shooting contest the rest of the game. Like, this sucks. It's bad for the game. I hate it. Like, this is so damn stupid. We're going to watch them shoot free throws for the next 10 minutes. They're going to take 30 seconds off the shot clock each time, and then they're going to shoot free throws at the end of the shot clock because they're going to look at the foul trouble. I mean, like, it's just going on the road. It's almost impossible. It almost is.
Right here, though. Big possession coming up.
Yep, just gotta keep scoring with them especially when you're going to hand them some free throws. You just gotta keep scoring with them, and then when you do have your stretch of 2 or 3 stops, that's when you can make your run. There we go.
There you go.
Gosh, you gotta finish that.
That's got to be a 3-point play.
Yeah, those are just little things right there.
58-27.
I mean, when you don't convert those, and heck, you might only get 1 point out of this trip now. That's how you lose these type of games.
Yeah.
Especially when you're coming off
58-27 Florida.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Man, that was a soft foul.
27. I can't believe this Tennessee score.
What's the score of that game?
58-27 with 7:34 to play.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we just scored 106 on that team, and Tennessee might score 50.
It's the number 1 team in the country, unbeaten.
That's right.
On the road in the SEC.
Yep.
I bet half their team's fouled out, though. I mean, if I check the Tennessee stats, will there be like 6 guys that didn't play over 15 minutes for some reason?
That's a big one.
That's a tough one.
Shit. Actually, on the contrary, Tennessee shot 20 free throws to Florida's 9. Jackson, come on, let's do something. Come on. Okay, or just pass it back to Ansley. Okay.
On a good possession.
Gosh, this is such a stupid game. I'm so glad I'm not in Athens right now.
Even when they're celebrating a win in 8-27, Stephen.
Oh, then I'll miss it.
I need it.
God, not a chance. Has Jackson Robinson taken a shot this half?
It's pretty.
He has not.
Right there too.
And he's got it whipped on a ball screen.
Yep, straight line drive.
That's not a foul either. Whatever. You know, I cannot believe, man, Jackson was close to going like to the NBA. Like, right? I mean, scouts really liked what they saw. Like,
he has not helped himself this season.
I mean, he just hasn't taken a shot in this half.
We're in the danger zone here of undoing the work.
Yep.
It was 55-50, and we fouled on a 3. And I'm just loving that I get to watch all these Georgia players shoot free throws. This is so entertaining. This is great programming. This is great. This is awesome. Good stuff. College basketball. People love this.
The one I know this is going to be, it's going to make your like ears bleed, Stephen. But the one thing I'd say, probably not in this point of this game because the way we're in foul trouble, but generally speaking, especially against teams like Georgia, I want the whistle to blow as much as possible because I want the physicality to stop. So,
oh yeah. That's true. Well, it has stopped on our end, so they've done a good job of that.
Yeah.
No field goals made in the last 4 minutes. That's awesome.
Versus basketball
every game that you don't.
Stephen Peak versus officials.
I mean, we can't get looks, guys. I mean, that's.
I know in the stretch.
Jackson got pushed in the back. Did he not? Okay. All right. Screw it.
I know in the stretch. I know that's 2 Oweh missed threes and an Ansley missed 3 right there.
Yeah.
And then you're getting.
I mean, you're just getting
not winning box outs is getting.
How do you not get that? How do you not get that one?
Foul.
Well, because I mean,
what's Amari looking at?
Ansley's trying really hard to not let his guy get the ball, but he's not even facing the basket. So like, Noel's just able to operate and go find it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not winning box outs, putting you in pretty bad position to end up putting them at the free throw line.
The only thing salvaging this is that Tennessee's down by 32 points right now. God, this sucks. Computer's gonna die also. So need to find some power.
Second chance points, 17-14.
Seems like it'd be a lot more than that. But
that's what I thought too when I was going to look at it. Let's see about this half. It's even 8-8 this half. Talked about turnovers. Georgia's not turned it over since we talked about it.
Yeah, that's tough.
You've led for 22 minutes. That's crazy.
How did Georgia do in their last game?
They lost 63-51 at Ole Miss.
Yeah. Tennessee has 28 points with 6 minutes to play.
Kind of, and then right here too, Brandon, like, Kentucky's not hit a field goal in the last 434, but Georgia's one of its last 8, but they have gotten to the free throw line.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that was the difference for a while there in the first half, certainly, and it's starting to be the difference here with them getting into the bonus and being able to get to the free throw line when it's a little bit of an equalizer when you're not able to score via field goals if you can find a way to get to the line. And that's something I talked about at halftime. I mean, I said how I think if you make Georgia earn their points, meaning you don't give them a bunch of second chances, meaning you don't put them at the free throw line, I thought Kentucky would have a really good chance to win. Well, that was the case. That was the case as you made the little run, and now Georgia's getting back to doing that. They've now already shot more free throws this half than they did in the first half.
Guys, Tennessee is 7 of 45 from the field.
That is insane. What ball are they using down there in Gainesville?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, be glad we're not watching that game. I guess
Tennessee will probably tell you it's a rock, Steven.
0 field goals in the last 434. Thanks, ESPN. Keep reminding us. Isn't that supposed to jinx it? Isn't that supposed to make it to where we make the next shot when they show that stat? This sucks. You know what though? Like I'm so glad I'm not at this because the last 2 rapid reactions I've had to do have been Ohio State, Clemson. Those are the only 2 that I've done this year. So that would have just been a third one. Really have to talk about another loss? Like, we still have time though. We still have time. We're only down 12. Like, is this team not capable of going on a really fast 16-0 run? I mean, is that not?
We just saw that.
Yeah.
Big break. Oh, you got to get a rebound. There you go. Whew. Got to start finding some success here and good possessions.
Yep.
I like it.
Pass it.
Take a time out. Nope.
I'm with you. Take the time out.
Got it.
There we go, Jackson.
Had to have that one.
Jax, there we go. I'm just a couple seconds behind y'all. That's awesome.
You had the possession.
Come on, Jackson.
Yeah.
We have scored in some of the stupidest ways.
It's been a struggle. There we go.
Moving screen. Yep.
Come on. Let's go.
All right. Get a bucket here.
2 missed free throws, a late clock 3, and an illegal screen. See what happens.
That could be a pretty big time hustle play there.
That's Jackson's first.
Get 3.
That's his first shot attempt. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And you're right. You saved the possession arrow. Okay. Can we just not? Come on. Get the ball across. Get the ball across. Unbelievable.
Well, that'll get you beat.
What the hell are we doing?
That's tough. Struggled to hang on to the ball in a lot of possessions too. Like some of those possessions that looked like they were left for dead, and they got late baskets.
I mean, that's just like that's just dumb. It's just like there's no. No.
Uh-oh.
I mean, is Georgia not being called for anything here? Is this?
Well, that might do it.
Well, okay, so that's totally legal. That's 100%. That should the basket have even counted? He's literally pushing Andrew Carr to the ground. Like, what are we doing? Am I crazy?
Just
don't answer that.
Contact.
It looked like.
I mean, Carr's probably holding on to him some there too.
Yeah, he is. It looked like the
Holding on to
contact
him
with,
now.
looked like the contact with maybe Garrison's legs is what got Carr to the ground too.
Gotcha.
I mean, part of what becomes tough and this isn't fair. It's not the way that it should be. But when you get whipped on the glass early on, then the officials just kind of start to assume that you're still getting whipped on the glass.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for you to get some of those foul calls because they're like, hey, I just watched you guys get whipped 5 times in the first half. So if anything, I'm going to assume that Andrew Carr is the one pulling him to the ground because he's trying so hard to not get whipped again. And that's just the mindset sometimes that you get into in games like this. And it's why I think you got to see some physicality set the tone earlier in the game so that you can maybe get a whistle like this or get a whistle on some of these other rebounds where you're probably getting pushed around a little bit, but you're just not the team that has that mentality of being the one that makes contact.
Can that be fixed? Or is that just it is what it is?
It's really hard to fix. Especially when you got to consider too, like we're not talking about 18-year-old freshmen anymore. We're talking about guys that have played up 110, 120 college basketball games.
Yeah.
You are who you are.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're saying here. This has been a stupid game all from start to finish. You just know, though. You're going on the road. You're going to have to deal with foul trouble. You got it. I mean, Kirk Risa, maybe he helps you a little bit, but it wasn't really the guards Otega, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know how much.
One more run at it here.
Georgia's been very physical.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's all.
It went off him. Yep.
Can't score at the rim.
No. And I almost wish we'd just stop with the, driving in, throwing stuff up.
Even their guards are blocking our shot.
Yeah.
It's 2.
Bank. No.
Quick shot. I'll take it.
Yeah, that was kind of dumb.
That was a
It
freshman.
was ugly, too. Nice pass. Nice. Come on. One more run.
You're still right there. If you get a couple of stops, you can make it interesting under 4.
Be nice to get this thing down to 5 just one more time.
You're getting
over
in
a
that
minute
part,
to go.
though.
I knew they're going to call that. I knew as soon as it rolled off the rim, there was going to be a call. And Garrison got hit on the head there too, but whatever.
I thought at times too that Kentucky's been looking for a whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they probably feel like they need one because they can't score at the rim with the rim protection that they're going in there hoping they get fouled because they're going to get their shot blocked otherwise.
It's going to be tough. Obviously, in Starkville, also got to get that rebound. Try to avoid losing both.
No off nights in the league.
No. I mean, we got to stop doing this. That's the second time I've seen that exact thing happen in the last few games. Like, didn't we just see something like that?
Yeah. Just
in the last game.
Gotta be more on balance.
Yeah.
It's got to be a bigger hop step. He's almost kind of sliding into it. He has the right idea playing off 2 feet, but
Yep.
I mean, Georgia sucks. I mean, they're just not. They're not good at actual basketball, is what I'm saying. Like, they're not any good. Like, I mean, they're fine. If they played in another conference, they would probably be. They'd have a great record, probably be ranked. But
Playing over limb.
they aren't. I mean, we got to stop the one-on-one stuff. Also, that would be nice. I have no idea what I'm talking about. By the way, I'm just.
I mean, obviously you're going a bit above and beyond what I'm going to say, but there is some semblance of truth. Like it's not the same style of basketball that you're watching from a Kentucky team when they win games. Like Georgia's going to win games by being really, really good protecting the rim. They're going to win games by getting to the free throw line. They're going to win games by whipping people on the offensive glass. That's a very different style than what Kentucky's going to run, where they're trying to run some, beautiful, intricate half court, zoom action, transition, motion offense, all these different things. But unfortunately, there's a lot of other teams that play this. Texas A&M, they're going to play like Georgia. Mississippi State, even to some extent, not as much this year, but certainly in the past, they're going to play like Georgia. There's going to be a lot of teams, especially against Kentucky, because I think the word's out a little bit here, that if you can muck it up, if you can be physical with them, they're not going to be as comfortable. So
Yep.
You're going to have to find a way to win a couple games like this, or else you're going to be sitting around at the end of the year with more losses than you wanted.
I mean, they've shot 31 free throws,
And
I'm not saying I'm not saying Kentucky hasn't fouled and they haven't earned their trip to the line, but that's clearly the strategy.
Georgia needed to win the game too.
Yeah.
There haven't been many free-flowing possessions for Kentucky offensively at all.
Oh, let's look at this. Let's look at this too. Gosh, Brandon's elbow just. I mean, look away. That's. Is he alive? Unbelievable! I can't believe he's able to walk.
Yeah, this has been a very, very ugly basketball game. But
let's look at it. Let's go to the tape again. Let's go over and have a look.
If you would have asked Mike White what he wants the game to look like, he would say
like shit, like this.
Yeah, he would have said, I hope I'm watching.
He said, I would hope that when the game is over, everyone hates the game of basketball. That's what I hope, that when the game is over, everyone goes, we watched that bullshit for 3 hours. Count me out. Let me know when football season starts, because I hate what is this? A 33 free throw game? This is awesome. Played 40 minutes. Shot a free throw per minute.
My biggest disappointment is I don't get to watch every one of these with you. With you, Steve. That's probably the most disappointing thing out of all this.
Ugh. Well, I get to be in Starkville, and we haven't lost there since the Billy G days.
Don't jinx it.
Great.
I said it last year and almost jinxed it. Reed Shepard bailed me out.
What time is that one Saturday?
I think 8:30.
8:30.
I know when it's an early game, they have a really nice breakfast spread down there.
71-43 is your final in Gainesville.
43.
They scored 43 points in a 40-minute basketball game. A college team, the number one ranked team.
We scored 9 more than that
shots
in the first half.
Yeah.
And then we scored 9 more again than that in the second half, or what?
Whatever the math. However the maths.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. I'm looking 43 points in a full game. That is the only thing salvaging my night. I'm gonna have to watch the highlights, because that's the only thing that's gonna make me feel better. I might save them for tomorrow and I'll wake up in a foul mood.
The frustrating part, though, is think how much better it would feel if you see that result and then you take care of business and you beat Georgia and you're 2-0. You'd be sitting pretty right now.
And it's not like Florida was great shooting the ball tonight either. They shot 39%, 30% from three, and out-rebounded Tennessee 55-37.
We've all watched a lot of Tennessee basketball over the years. It's just weird. Like, even these teams that are really good, I think Tennessee's really good. They always just have games where they score 47 points. Like, it's insane. No matter how good they are, they put up some of the most amazing clunkers.
Florida led the entire time for 39 minutes.
Wow.
That's wild.
Man. That's insane. 73-43. I mean, it makes me feel a little bit better, but this is very disappointing. When I don't know. I mean, Louisville beat Clemson tonight, so that doesn't make me feel much better about anything.
Need it. There we go.
There you go. Come on.
Just put
Come
some
on,
game
guys.
pressure.
Just one push. Let's go.
Put some game pressure.
Make them have to make some plays.
I actually like this new floor for them too.
Gosh dang.
Oh my God. I can't watch this sport if they're gonna do this. I just can't. Like that can so go not called. In my opinion. I don't know. But we can't get a replay of a controversial foul call. I mean, that doesn't need to be called. Why do we just like to not? I mean, I'd love to watch this go for a minute or two without a freaking whistle, but
And to get the bounce.
Yep. For real, like if a guy even just brushes by you, you should throw your head back and throw your arms up, and you'll be shooting 2 free throws. That's a great strategy to ruin the game of basketball. I love it.
I hope I get a chance to watch a win with Steven at some point.
Yes.
It'll
Like
be more fun. Come on. Just shoot the ball. Just shoot it.
Gosh. Man, it's just a bear to score at the rim on these guys.
So maybe we should stop trying. We're down by 11 with 3:23. How about Andrew Carr takes that shot from the top of the key? Also, that would be a foul. That would be called a foul on the other end. I think what you're saying is right. Like, because Georgia plays physical and the referees know that, like, they get away with stuff that other teams who don't play as physical. You know what I'm saying? Is that a possibility?
There's some truth to that.
Damn it.
Not looking good now. This is where not being able to turn teams over too.
Yep. Yeah, you're going to let them burn some clock. Probably going to give up an offensive rebound.
Butler almost got that. Yeah. Oh, dang. Thought Kobe could have had that.
Oh, my gosh.
That's tough. Well,
I wish I wouldn't have had that whistle.
I know. Well, today could have been Mark Pope's 200th win. At least
You'll get to see it Saturday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they can't play much worse than this. They can't play much worse than they did today.
Could really shake things up if Vandy's able to beat Mississippi State tonight.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
This league's a bear, man.
What time is that? Is that game at 9? Or is that game on right now?
It's going on right now. Vandy's got an early lead.
Hmm.
I think it's 12-11.
Yeah. 11-10 Vanderbilt.
11-10.
I mean, Georgia's trying to pick a fight like the whole game, too.
You got to match it with your physicality in the game, though.
This is it's a humbling result, though. I'll tell you that.
You can read his lips right there.
What do you say?
I'm pretty sure he said we're kicking your ass.
Well,
Yep.
can't deny that, really.
You are, brother.
I feel bad. I hope my man who had to be at work at 4 a.m. went to bed. That's brutal.
Yeah, this isn't going to be a fun one to watch again.
No, it is
Oh man, the film room is gonna. That sounds like a drag.
There's
Nope,
another
wasn't out of bounds. Scored
Yeah,
it.
we got like 3 guys standing out of bounds there. Gosh.
Man, Brandon, I think really wanted that.
Angry fella.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I would like to see him turn that into like playing
Yeah.
well.
One guy goes and gets it with 2, Brandon. Everybody else is reaching with 1.
So our last 2 trips to Segment Coliseum haven't been great.
Nope. Oh, there we go. There you go, Stephen. We're blowing the whistle now.
What? Why? What was it? What did he do? Don't even need it. Just I wouldn't even want it. I like, you know what? No, here's your ball, and I just throw it into row Z and say, here you go, pick that up. I'm not even accepting that foul. Kick me out of the game. I don't even want it. I'm arguing against that call you called for me because that's how weak that was. And you didn't call anything else the whole game. I'm Adam Vinatieriing that ball out of Segment Coliseum. I wouldn't even want the free throws. So I think Jackson shot the ball 1 time in the second half. Is that correct?
The 3 that he
Yes.
3 that he made.
Yep. He was 1 for 1. I mean, what? How does that happen? It just, yeah, it sucks. Kobe Brea, what was he from deep? 2 for 7. I'm glad he shot 7 though.
Yeah,
You know, he had to force a
needs to be
couple.
the minimum.
Yes, yeah. Man, it went right around Jax.
Brandon, buddy.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, there's like letting him play now, and I thought Otega might have fouled him there in midcourt, honestly, but
You know, Mike White's not wanting to burn that last time out, but
yeah, maybe he didn't. And then 14 falls down. Okay, all right, I've seen enough. I hope Georgia loses every game forever. Kill our. I don't care. You know, it's not RPI anymore. I don't care. Kill it. We'll lose every game. Oh, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Let's look at it.
I knew
Let's
they
break
would go to
down
the
some
monitor
film.
once the guy went down to the ground.
somebody's laying down. We got to look at it.
We gotta take a look. If we can get another flagrant, they get bonuses for every flagrant that they look at. This is big though, because it's an 11-point game with 97 seconds left, so anything can happen.
This game has taken forever. It's 9:18.
Well, I mean, it's going to when one team shoots. What was it? 500 free throws.
So, give or take.
Yeah.
Man, 500 free throws.
I mean, basketball fever, catch it. This is like we're just spending time. I mean, and the people who's even like we're watching because we have to, but like, what are we even doing?
I think that unfortunately, this is just going to be it's a feeling you're going to have. So, I mean, heck, you've already had it. Kentucky had such a great start to the season. You beat Duke, whatever, and then you go to Clemson. You sit around and like, gosh, are we really as good as what we thought? And you beat Gonzaga. You're feeling great again. You go lose to Ohio State. Everybody's kind of down. Well, like, are we really actually all that good? I'm not sure if we're really that good. Then you kind of even struggle against Brown or whatever. And but then you beat Florida. Everybody's high, and then man, you just get punched in the face. And as you said, Sean, like winning 2 in a row, even let alone 3 or 4 in the SEC, it just ain't going to happen very often.
It's not, and that's what I'm saying. Like this is you're going to have this feeling a lot, but you're not alone in this feeling. Like everyone in the league's going to have this feeling.
Yeah.
This year. I mean, imagine how Tennessee fans feel tonight.
Yeah, no.
And then you're Florida. You lose on the road at Rupp, and then you return home and beat the number 1 team in the country. It's not even close.
I tell you what, if I'm a Florida fan, I feel pretty good because they took a loss on Saturday on the road, which is and they played like Kentucky. Well, I'm saying too, like Kentucky played really, really well.
Yeah,
I don't particularly feel like maybe this is Georgia's best game. If this is Georgia's best game, then like congrats on the win. But like I don't know how as a fan I would watch this every night. This looks like if this is how my teams win, it's miserable. But it's like the most miserable win you can have. I mean, it's just like it's not entertaining at all. But if you're Florida, like I don't know, if I'm a Florida fan, I feel really good because I mean, like Kentucky had to play an A game to beat them, and they just smoked Tennessee tonight.
Yeah, you should feel good.
I still feel good as a Kentucky fan. I mean, you're on the road there, and it's not. I don't know who was favored.
I think it's going to be a year where, and again, this is hard. I mean, heck, I sure as heck don't do it because it's my job to watch the games a bunch of times, and I know a lot of BBN doesn't do it either. But it's a year where you pretty much only should evaluate the win and the loss column. Like,
exactly.
Evaluating what you think you saw on the floor one night is going to be irrelevant by the next time you take the floor. It just is. And it's okay to be really mad when your team loses, and it's okay to feel really good when your team wins, but trying to read between the lines and all that kind of stuff, you're wasting your time this year.
Yeah.
No, I think so too. Like I was telling Jack the other night that I'm almost not even getting hung up in the Kimpom.
Can we review that?
Defensively, I'm literally evaluating the win-loss column.
Yeah,
Steven. So
I love Mark Pope asking to review that there.
I mean, Georgia needed this one, right? Like just on the other side of this, because when you look up and you got Oklahoma, then you're on the road at Tennessee and Auburn. You got Tennessee and Auburn back to back, and then Florida. I mean, that's when you're looking at some of these schedules and these teams that got double up games.
That's only so obvious who it went off of. I can see how you missed it. You're standing right there. How could you not? How could you see it? You're only right in front of the play. How could you see that? Oh, it only happened right in your line of sight. I could see how you miss it. This is ridiculous.
But what I was saying, Brandon, is these double up games where you got the home and away, like Kentucky draws Tennessee and Alabama.
Yeah.
In those two, where a team like Arkansas has got Georgia and Missouri, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to some teams catch a break there. Kentucky doesn't catch a break.
Yeah, and that's one of the tough parts with these expanded conferences. And heck, I mean, I think it's, in my opinion, it's almost like the downfall of college football is how unbalanced the schedules are. But you're seeing it a little bit in basketball too, where it is unfortunate when you have unbalanced scheduling, because then win-loss records really no longer mean the same thing school to school, because like you said, you have a team that draws two of the toughest teams in the conference. You have a different team that draws a couple of the weakest teams in the conference.
Yep.
For home and homes, and especially with how much of a meat grinder it's going to be this year, that could literally be the difference between getting a double bye or finishing ninth. It could be the difference between winning the league or finishing fourth. It could be the difference.
Did I miss something?
The tournament or not making the NCAA tournament.
Did we get Did we get the ball? I looked down for a second.
They called it off Kentucky.
How did I? What did I see then?
Steven, I stopped a long time ago trying to figure out what you saw.
I'm more upset that Kentucky gets the coffin corner touch right there, the trap, and then you don't really get the initial steal out of it. But here we are again. How many reviews we had in this game? Are we at double digits yet?
It's brutal.
It's got to be close, right? I mean, it's 9:30 when this thing ends. Like we've been this 2 hours. I've not even been on here the full time. 2 hours and 30 minutes.
It's insane. And we played. I forget what we played. One of those games at Rupp not too long ago. It was like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Imagine being Missouri and LSU right now. You're already at the under 12.
Yeah, right.
Jeez.
The good thing is none of their fans realize that they're missing the game. Can you imagine how mad Kentucky fans would be? It's going insane.
Do we get a court storming here?
Oh, yeah.
Have to, right?
You should.
I mean, yeah. Might as well.
Beat number 6 Kentucky. I mean, Georgia never wins anything in basketball, so I mean, I would. Not since Tubby Smith. Have they done anything since Tubby? Have they done it? What's their biggest basketball moment?
Anthony Edwards won number 1
games in 3 days.
That's it.
That's it. In 2008.
There you go. That was the tornado season, right? That was it was Patrick Swansea. That was Swansea hit the 3 to beat Kentucky. That's when we tried to block a free throw. Perry Stevenson blocked a free throw.
You have a 17-year-old me in the
references on this show now.
You have a 17-year-old me in the background after he hit that 3 on SEC Story, just with my head down.
Oh man, that was that sucked.
I got into that.
Then we ran the Billy Gillespie. He drew up the play where you run the baseline to try to get the defender to run into Ramel Bradley, and he did, and the referees didn't call it. I was like, that was
a goaltending on a free throw.
Yeah,
really taking it back.
Well, it's Georgia's best moment in basketball. So yeah, you storm the court tonight, and nobody can say act like you've been there before. They have. I mean, what have they done?
I mean, you're getting your traps here.
Yeah, you are. And you're getting the fouls too. Let's extend this game out. I mean, do we really need to be doing this? I know you got to do your.
One of the things I said before the game was how even if it was ugly, I thought Kentucky could score 80 points and win the game. Well, that 80 number is going to end up being pretty much what you would have needed. I mean, they're adding on some here, with kind of garbage time free throws, but. You can be frustrated with some of the defensive stuff. You can be frustrated with some of the rebounding, but I think it's really the same story as especially the Clemson game and to a lesser extent Ohio State, where if your offense is what your offense is supposed to be, you still find a way to win this game. Kentucky needs to be a top 5, top 10 offense to be their best in SEC play. You need to be able to count on scoring 80 night in and night out, and tonight you didn't do that. And we've said it a million times, it's going to happen more. But I think that limiting those nights is going to be as key as anything. We can sit here and talk about ball screen coverage. We can talk about getting tougher on the boards, all that kind of stuff. I think that limiting the clunkers offensively is going to be as important as anything, because you can overcome that stuff with great offense, and Kentucky hasn't good enough offense to overcome some of that.
I mean, they're shooting 25% 35% from 3. And I mean, Kobe's 2 of 8, Jackson 1 of 5, Butler 1 of 3. You know, you hit 6 threes, and again, one of them was Almanor, and one of them was Brandon Garrison. So, like, you're just not gonna. I don't think this team is. I don't think they can beat teams if they shoot below 30% from 3. I don't think it's gonna happen.
We go to the freaking monitor. Unbelievable.
Okay, I'll look down to some stats. What did we do? Oh, did he put it? Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. I would hate for that to just call it. Who cares? Just call it. He clearly reached across the line. Isn't there it's just a warning first, right?
Steven, what's the next game that you're not going to on the road?
Maybe Texas. I don't know if we're making the trip to Austin or not.
We need to watch one of these from like upstairs at KS Bar, at KS Office
Yeah.
or something. That way we're on the same TV.
Yeah.
That would be cool. It's not a guarantee that we'll make it to Mississippi State if that snow comes in on Friday night.
Yeah, I thought we're supposed to get some more now. Oh boy.
Jackson takes.
Hit him in the head. Go to the monitor.
Go to the monitor.
Wow.
I did think Kentucky was going to go 9-9 in the SEC, and I had them losing to Florida, but beating Georgia. So really, you take this, I think, right? This split.
If your goal is to go 9-9, then yeah, we're fine.
That's it. That's my goal. 9-9. UConn went 9-9 in 2011, and then they didn't lose a postseason game.
I love your brain so much.
They didn't play with the Evo, did they?
They didn't have to. No, it was the Wilson. Yeah, get that rebound.
I love his facts and knowledge, man.
Yeah, there's so many things, and I'm sure you feel this way too, Sean. Like basketball consumes my brain in such a way, and then somehow Steven just like trumps everything that I think about myself sometimes. Like he can pull up something that happened at like the 2006 SEC tournament, and my brain pretty much wipes clean after almost every game. I couldn't tell you what was going on 2 weeks ago. And this guy can talk about what freaking ball they used in the SEC
2006 SEC tournament was the Rickalin Sims game versus Alabama. If you all remember that, they were down like 12 late, came all the way back.
Whatever you say.
That was it. That's all I could remember from that. I think
I believe you.
Wait, was that when we had the lane violation versus Mississippi State, or was that maybe that was 07?
If you want to,
do you know what I'm talking about? It was
genuinely no.
Jody Meeks was at the free throw line to shoot the free throw we were up by 3, and Tubby wanted to get Shrey Thomas off the line. Thomas doesn't know what to do, and he moves as soon as they give the ball to Jody Meeks. It's a lane violation. Lamont Washington hits a 3, or Lamont whatever his name. He hits a 3, and then we lose in overtime. It's a good time. Kobe.
Nope. Hurting
Not
bad.
today.
It's been one of those.
Now we're really cleaning up the physicality on the glass here in the final seconds.
I'm glad that they're starting to blow the whistle
really
now.
letting the whistle blow.
I'm glad they have heard my concerns.
Missouri game's going to be in the second half by the time we get to it.
It's ridiculous.
We got to run this back for a win, though.
Yeah.
Like we
Well,
can't.
unfortunately, it might have to be a home game because I don't think you're going to get enough calls on the road to be able to pull anything off.
Hey, road games are going to feel like 2 wins this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe the next one, we just need to do it after the fact. We just need to after a win.
Yeah,
we
there you
watch
go.
the game together.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll be the tape delayed.
Yeah.
Gosh, you never really got a feel for the second half. That we never really got a moment that we thought.
Yeah, I mean, when it's 55-50 there, you had a little bit of a shot, but
That was your chance. That was your
Yeah.
run. But we're flirting with disaster even in that sequence, though. Georgia coming up empty.
Well, that's disappointing. I can't be too upset. I'm not gonna be. I'm not that mad about it. Like I knew waking up this morning this game was gonna be tough for Kentucky, and I was hoping that they could pull it out. But I thought if they did, it would be a close game. This was a little disappointing, but I mean,
Get the next one.
yeah, you get another chance at a top 25 team. This was squad one, right?
Yes. Yep. That's a team that may shoot up into the top 30 of the net. 36, I believe.
Yeah. And that's the thing that's crazy is like, you know, when you say that's a quad one game, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are gonna be like, well, is it going to stay quad one? They're just like that's gonna be their natural reaction.
Yep.
But then it's like they're 36, like they're not even. I mean, they just have to stay top 75.
Yeah.
Like with as many quad one games that they're going to lose and win. I mean, yeah, it's like it's probably pretty safe that stays the quad one game. It'd be really hard for them to fall out of the top 75.
Well, the defensive numbers at least may have improved for Kentucky. They didn't give up 100 points this time. So I don't know what that gets you.
That game, giving up 82 points in that game probably isn't all that pretty.
Nah, you're right. Well, guys, we'll do this again. The rapid reaction will be coming up on this channel. We'll have Drew, Zach, Jack, and who I don't know. Jacob might jump in. But I want to say that this was fun. And it was in its own way.
I enjoyed
do you guys
it.
do you guys have some final thoughts? Start with Brandon. Do you have final thoughts on this and going forward?
I mean, I do think what I said a few minutes ago is true, and I know it. You know, I probably harp on it too much. I know it drives some people crazy, but I think you got to evaluate games just by wins and losses this year, and you can't get hung up on how bad you looked one night because again, Saturday happened in real life. We were there. We watched it. We scored 106 points against a team that just blew the doors off at number 1 Tennessee. And you're going to turn around and you're going to have a chance to go play in Starkville on Saturday. It's not going to be easy, just like tonight wasn't. You're going to have, 16 more of those now going forward. And you just have to rack up wins when you can. You got to not let the losses turn into 2 or 3 because that's when this thing really starts to snowball is when you start to feel sorry for yourself after a tough loss on the road. You just got to bounce back and try to find a way to be better the next time out. I
think your highs can't be too high and your lows can't be too low in the league this year. Like it's a one game thing every single game. I know obviously that's the focal point in coaching, Brandon, but in a league like this, every single night on the road at home, it's going to be a grind. You're going to play in a lot of games where maybe it's not going to look that ugly, but the blueprint is out there now for teams that they're going to try to kind of maybe take a page out of Georgia's book and try to be physical and win the offensive glass. But hey, you can't feel sorry for yourself. You got to regroup and you got to go on the road to Starkville because starting league play out with a great win against Florida can easily disappear on you if you're not able to kind of bounce back quickly. We'll see.
Tough loss. It's a the thing about the loss is it gives you a chance for a bounce back win. So hopefully we can get one of those on Saturday at 8:30 in Starkville. Thank you all for following along with this. We'll do it again. I don't know when, but I'm sure there will be a road game that Jack and I don't go to. Hopefully not because of weather, because I'm over it. I'm over the weather. So with that, for Brandon Ramsey, for Sean Smith, we will. Well, first, let me put this comment down. I've had enough about the refs today. We will see you guys on the rapid reaction coming up on the same channel in just a bit. Thanks for watching.
See you guys.
See you.